Welcome everyone to another RGL cast. I guess it hasn't been that long since we've been live. Had a little intermission, maybe a big intermission, but it all comes down to this. This is the grand finals of RGL Invite 6's Season 10 between Leica G6 and 20cc. Both teams have fought tooth and nail all weekend, all season, to solidify their spots right now. But at the end of the day, both vying for the coveted first place championship. Only one can take it and be crowned victorious in space. With the carnage we've seen so far today and yesterday combined, this is going to be a bloodbath.
I agree that it's going to be a bloodbath. These two teams are very similar in some respects, and I think the skill levels are very similar. So I'm expecting a lot of back and forth, maybe going to a lot of maps because this is best out of 5. And
Yep.
I agree that 8 or 9 teams, however many, started the season, but only 2 remain. Mal out of playoffs, Freotech out of playoffs. It is just these two, 20ZC and G6.
And because G6 did not lose any of their matchups throughout the bracket, their reward, as you can see on the screen right now, the blue dot that's filled in, they get to start the best of 5 with a 1 map advantage. There is no bracket busting. There's no BO3 loss that goes into another BO3 like yesteryear, like years ago actually, not even. Like that had to be like mid like that probably the ESEA era in general. It's been a long while, at least like
Yeah.
3 years or so. But and it's not like the Highlander that you see. Actually, Highlanders tomorrow too, grand finals. We'll maybe mention that later again. But that's the reward. So G6 they only have to win 2 maps, while 20cc got to win 3 out of the 4. So
Yeah,
it's not impossible. It's been done before, but it's a tall order, and you got to put a lot of work in.
Yeah, I believe the last team to go into upper bracket and actually lose was Freotech a couple seasons ago when they got upset by G. It wasn't G6. It was I can't remember the
Witness
team
gaming.
name. Witness Gaming. Thank you. By Witness Gaming. This Gaming did claw back and get the three maps, so it is possible. It is just an uphill climb, like you said. But the roster that we saw last time for 20ZC, it's not the same we saw today. They're yesterday. If you tuned in, saw 20ZC, it's going to be a different roster, and I'll let you take away that one, Jared.
Sure, we'll go over the 20cc roster now. It is Brand Slam and Jay on Scout, Ash and Artis on Soldier, Habib on Demo, and Howard on Medic.
And for like a G6, we have Bomo, aka Bot Mode, on Scout, Caps on Scout, Soapy Meister, and Kobe1920 on Soldier, Logan on Demo Man, and Wool Guy on Medic.
Yep, lots of talented players on these rosters. All have some sort of playoffs or even grand finals experience. And it definitely shows with their ability to get here now with these teams. At least before, only one can come out on top, and you got 4 maps and then the BO5 to prove that you're the top dog. I think we're still waiting for the pick bands to go through. It might be actually happening as we speak, so that's kind of a pending thing. So, but these are the teams and the rosters that we are going to be showing for the next hour or two, however long these matches ago. We saw earlier when 20cc played Freitech, those were 2 very long matches, and kind of curious on if it's going to be the same pace when you see these 2 teams go against each other. Also kind of curious into predicting what maps we might see or what maps are going to get perma-banned out and won't see the light of day.
True, definitely. I think the map picks here should be interesting, especially since I believe it's the first time this season we actually have best of 5 in maps and not best of 3. So it's a lot more maps in the pool that have potential to be played. So you got to make sure that your map pool is as good as possible. You can't make any mistakes, or especially if you're 20cc, you can't make any mistakes because you got a lot of maps to win, and there's a lot of maps to play. And G6 are no slouches. They got a lot of good maps that they are willing to play and willing to put in. And you see these 2 teams play a lot before, but different rosters each time.
Yeah, trying to think of while we're waiting for the pick bands to go through and be fed the information. Trying to think about let's first go back for anyone especially who missed the games that happened yesterday between these 2 teams in the upper bracket final. It was a product game, it was a sultry game, and it was a Metalworks game. The only one that was close was a sultry game. The other ones were, I mean, there was some back and forth moments, but for the most part, it was dominant product game for the side of 20cc and a pretty dominant Metalworks game for the side of G6. So you have that fresh in your mind with the really close game of sultry. And I'm kind of curious how much that's going to play into the bans you get for this pick ban for both these teams, because you're playing more maps, so I think the bans are even more important because you just have less to kind of work with to whittle down the map pool. And you only get one, and I don't know if the maps that you played yesterday and lost on were the ones that you were expecting, like, oh yeah, we're just perma-banning this for your run. And then a new map comes in that, the matchup, you got to decide. with this new map that you've lost and shown that you have some weaknesses on, do you think you can patch it up, or do you just toss it to the wayside and have it be the new permaban and you whatever you were banning beforehand? I think for G6 maybe it was Bagel, and then 20C I don't quite remember if there was any patterns on what was the first thing that kind of left the pool. Maybe it was Sunshine. My memory's kind of
I
fuzzy,
think it
but
was
either
Sunshine. I think it was Sunshine.
yeah, but either way, I'm kind of that's the big question. I think it might actually take a bit on deciding the pick bans in itself because it all comes down to this: you can't screw this up. So pick your poison.
Most definitely. And
The thing you think you're gonna lose, or the thing you actually lost on.
yeah. And it's kind of funny because both teams have banned Bagel at different points in time, if my memory serves correctly. That neither team really seems, both teams at various points are like, I don't want to play Bagel. That map's a little too close. I don't know if I feel comfortable on it. But now, it's playoffs. And again, only one map. There's only so many map bans. There are only so many bullets you can dodge in the pool. Like, imagine you go through the whole season and you're not good at Villa. Then you find out, oh, I got to ban Villa for playoffs, but we're also really bad at this other map, and you have to pick one. That's why having a diverse map pool is important. And those new maps, you can't sleep on them because I've seen it multiple times where the newer maps get picked in grand finals or in a playoff match, and the team that doesn't play it as much looks a little weaker on it.
I think it makes a lot of sense, especially because we hear in interviews like the first time we ever saw Sultry, for example, it was the showcase for the season. I think it was a 2-1 game, a G6 versus Mal. And we asked Soapy why he picked it. And he's like, well, I mean, we just picked it because we hadn't played it yet. And, if we lose, we lose. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it was close. We just wanted to get some experience on it. So that's the important thing. Use what you can to, even if it's just like a match. The fact that you're a solidified playoff team, you can afford to like take some risks, and maybe your record might get a bit skewed if you have a couple accidents along the way. But it all builds up for the grand finals if you can get there, because it's cool to have a really nice seed going into the regular season and all. But if you did it playing like 4 maps, when the entire pool is in question and it's not just whittled down to like the one map that's left over for the pick bans of the regular season, you could find yourself in a pretty bad spot when there's like 3 maps that you feel like you want to ban right off the bat, and you only really get 1 ban before the picks roll through. So it's going to be a test. I think at this point, both these teams, maybe definitely more G6 than 20ZC, since they're a bit of a new roster, have had time to experiment. They've had like the month to kind of grind out and figure out what they're good at, what they're bad at. It's just about the new information. Because I mean, you can play scrims or whatever, and you kind of write it off. When you go into the matches, it feels like a whole different ball game. Like for G6, do you think that you can write off whatever happened on product to leave it in the pool again, or do you try to fix it, or do you just ban it out? And for this 20ZC Metalworks, they didn't really have much wiggle room at all. Do you figure out, go over the demo, or do you even know what the problems were that like, yeah, we could take them if we got a rematch, or you just say screw it, first ban? I
Yeah,
think those are the big questions.
and definitely because I have to remember that all Sultry was really close last time. I feel like even if you're G6, you won on that. 20CC just got a whole lot of experience, literally over an hour played on that one map just today alone. So
I
they,
feel like we'll see it in the pool probably again. Either team will want
I
to
think we
touch it.
will. I don't know which team is going to pick it, or if they just leave it in and it's one of the last picks. Imagine if the last map in the pool is Sultry. That'd be a fever dream. But regardless, yeah. And I keep going back to it, but it just like this is a different roster than last time. Having Jay and Habib is quite a powerful combination. We saw both Jay and Habib pulling out some big plays today. And if you're G6, it's still a very similar team. You're only switching out one player for another, but still, it's technically a different team, different players, and different players do have different tendencies and on what they might want to play on the maps.
We mentioned the in-game leadership too. This is the first time that Jay has really been in the driver's seat for a team. Like obviously everyone kind of contributes to a team's play style, but the person that main calls and decides the pace of the team, what risks you take, which ones you don't, that's going to be his responsibility now, which I don't think he's really had before. He didn't have it on Freyo, didn't have it on the old versions of Witness Gaming, I don't think, because he was on a more sacrificial role or other flank. And then even this season when he was on demo, he definitely wasn't in the driver's seat then. The demo's not that class, so it's going to be a newer role. It's not the newest since it's not like he's brand new to the class. But for a team environment like this, where every single little bit matters in the grand final of the game, and it's gonna be put to the test. And he was tested earlier, and he came through shining like an anime protagonist almost. But might be a bit more stiff competition this time around. Is it's top dogs. The question is which team is described as that? I think it's still pending maps. Probably
Yeah,
taking their
they're
time.
probably doing it right as we speak right now. So we'll have
Turbine,
to see.
let's go!
Yeah, Turbine Pog. Is that Turbine Professional or is that just regular Turbine? I wonder. Ah, regular Turbine. How did, well, what season was it where they had the team bring back Turbine DM and then it actually happened? For the record, I was on that train before the team name came. It was like one of the like pseudo Mal teams.
Turbine D. I
There was a
actually
team
don't
that
know.
it was. I think it was a team with Mason on it. It was one of those teams, but regardless,
I like Turbine DM.
yeah, Turbine DM is very good. I big proponent of it. One of the better maps, infinitely better than Goalie or Badlands. Those maps are horrid.
Yeah, the
But
spawns are a bit ick.
yeah, well, you just have the people who like defenders of their own choke point, and you just can't walk in.
And
It's horrid.
it was even worse when there were health pack warriors, the people that
Oh
are
yeah.
like, I don't chase frags, I sit next to a health pack so I can never die. Because not only do I have the health pack, I have the regen
Yeah.
for getting a kill.
It's like the people sit on top of the thing on process and just shoot down a soldier. It's like, why are you doing that? Or on snake water. You always get those people. But DM shenanigans aside, we have predictions for Turbine.
Yeah, a hypothetical turbine game. What
If
you
they
think
even
though?
if they even
Remember, the
played
score goes to
CTF,
10.
I was good. Does it go to? I haven't played. The last
Yeah,
time I
it
played
goes to 10.
CTF in TF2 in general was like UGC Season 9 Highlander.
Yeah,
It's
I
been a
would
long
agree.
time.
It's been ages.
Is there
But
even a score limit on that? I thought this was infinite.
no, I mean, what do you think the Highlander games would go infinite? No, it's first to 10, and then I think there's an hour time limit.
Who goes to 10? Like, how do you cap 10 times? And no way.
If the teams are really lopsided, if it's an even matchup, then it won't. The hour will run out and they won't actually reach 10. But
Hmm.
with a Swiss schedule, sometimes you'll just like, oh no, a top team lost their really close matchup, and now they have to play a mid division team, and then it's just a roll. So they climb back up.
I
It's
see.
just the Swiss system in a big division.
Gotcha. Well, why do I see people? I see people walk. Those are bots.
Yeah, those are definitely bots.
Yeah,
They're just
Danny
walking in
there.
a straight
Yeah.
line. They got their priorities straight. They're going
That
for
head-
the intel. They
Dude,
know how
that
to play the
heavy's
objective.
doing 180s. Look at them go. Very aware of the spy.
It's the spy paranoia.
That
It
actually,
kicks in.
that's more aware than most players I see.
That's true. Especially for how many stabs you've seen so far in this playoffs. There's been a lot of off classes, like a healthy amount.
Oh, definitely. I've seen a lot of sniper. I think we've seen a lot of sniper and spy. Seen some Putis and engineer. Actually, I think we've seen them all. We've seen all the off classes in a pretty healthy amount. Yeah, I personally enjoy the off classes. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of J Sniper that's a prediction of mine. I think that J Sniper is pretty good, and we'll be seeing a lot of it. For
Even
G6,
though he's on his combo roll as well.
yeah. I mean J Sniper is a combo class. Let's be honest.
That's
You-
true.
You want to put
He's had some sprees.
you want to put heals into him. I think J Sniper should be 185 at all times.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. If it works, especially.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
the
Jay,
beauty of it.
I don't
Even
think
if
Jay's
it's-
lost an SVS yet, too. He was 3-0 in the SVS today.
It's true. Although there weren't very many SVSs, I feel like.
It was
For the
3-0.
moments. Yeah, but considering the amount of times we saw a sniper on the field for both teams, I felt like there was many moments where it was something else that got rid of the snipers. Like especially in the Sultry games where the snipers would just stare at each other and then nothing would happen. Because the elevation of the choke was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
It would be a soldier that would bomb through and eliminate the sniper at a contention for getting any kills, and it wasn't actually a SVS. Even though they were like kind of prepared, it just wouldn't work out that way.
Yeah. I feel like at first the spy plays weren't working, the match we saw today, and then later on Donovan just started getting picks over and over on Howard. So definitely maybe a little bit of spy paranoia has set in over the course of the day for Howard, because definitely there was a lot of spy shenanigans going on, and sometimes they weren't successful, but they were successful more often than not against 20ZC. So maybe G6 will put that into their bag of tricks and pull out the spy class every once in a while.
Yeah, especially they've had some time to kind of watch if they wanted to how 20cc was going to play. So
Yeah, they had
even though they haven't
they had the scouting.
Yeah, even though they haven't experienced the paranoia of the off classes themselves, they can at least see and get an idea of how often it's going to be happening. But good news, we have info to the server. That's something. We don't actually have the map pick bans yet. I don't know if this is Metalworks just because like
Last
the
time it was
server,
right.
like yeah, it could be the server's just on a map, but it could also be that the first pick was Metalworks, and while they're finishing the pick bans, they just changed level to Metalworks real quick. So
I could see some Metalworks.
if this is a map that's going to be played, who do you think picked it? Probably G6, right? Considering last night.
Yeah, probably. I would definitely consider that, but it's going to be slightly new roster. I could see G6 because what if they picked Metalworks, I feel like that was definitely maybe one of 20ZC's bans, right? They want to ban Metalworks considering it's a
Yeah,
5-1. So
they
if
were probably
Metalworks
considering it.
got through as like the first map that G6 want to play, what do you think the 20ZC ban was in order for Metalworks to get through?
They must have banned Bagel.
Maybe, but
'Cause
didn't
if you didn't
I thought G6 banned Bagel?
That's true. If you're in a situation where you think both teams are interested in banning the same thing,
You leave it in.
then you're not at yeah, you don't fear about it getting picked, so you don't touch it. So
Yeah, you know
maybe
they're not
maybe they
first
don't
picking
touch
Bagel.
Bagel.
Yeah, that's which makes me
But if you're not
wonder.
afraid of Bagel, then what are you afraid of to not
I
ban
don't know.
Metalworks? Are you gonna, like, mind game them and think, like, "We know exactly how we lost, we're going to roll them this time." Like,
Maybe they didn't
you
feel confident on the map that they picked last time, or maybe they don't feel confident on a map we don't know about yet. Like, what are some maps they haven't like? Maybe they don't want to play Process. Maybe they don't want to play Goalie or Snake.
wasn't it Sunshine bans we talked about?
Sunshine. That's probably it. I think last time they first banned Sunshine, didn't they? Against this team.
There
I
was
think
I
so.
don't remember which match it was. There was definitely a matchup where they first
I
banned
think it was
Sunshine
this.
out of the pool.
I think it was this. I think once G6 banned Bagel, 20cc banned Sunshine. So if they did those bans again, it would make sense that G6 picks Metalworks first. That makes a lot of sense to me in terms of that's kind of what happened last time, except no Metalworks. Although
Well,
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
if Metalworks is gonna be the first map, it was a bit of fever dream for us because at the end of our day for casting. Do you have any memories or of like patterns or flashbacks of that game on how it kind of went down and what you think might change? What
Oh
was the
god.
big
Oh
thing?
god.
The hard question.
Yeah, that is a hard question. I remember the mids were back and forth. I think the 5-1. It was a 5-1, but
Hmm.
I do remember that Logan had a really good game of Metalworks, and Habib was getting caught out. You mentioned Habib was getting caught out a lot in the backwards transitions on this map. You said it's the hardest map actually in the pool to do backwards transitions in. And
I would definitely.
Logan had single digit deaths. Logan was having an amazing game, much more so than the first two maps where Habib was kind of on top. So definitely a bit of a Logan strength map, it appears.
Yeah, I definitely think that the biggest, at least for me, one of the bigger differences that was at least like visually apparent, uh, was probably the Ubers for the side of G6. When it comes to like taking advantage, we're much more successful. A lot of the times, 20cc's Ubers, I mean, it can be hard enough to Uber on Metalwork sometimes and actually get a lot of kills because there's ways that teams can just play passive and it can be hard to amount to a whole lot. That's why you've seen like more and more aggression come out with like people utilizing the skybox to just full send it in. But there's definitely way more success to at least catch people and make it difficult to turn it into a leapfrog scenario. But good news, we got pick bans, so we can actually finally know for sure if Metalworks is going to be
Ooh.
played. I can only assume it will be, but there's still a
I see
whole
they're running
other
around on it.
list of maps to figure out. So
Yeah,
we can
this is
get the
gonna be
list and see
interesting.
what's up.
Yeah, let's see what's up. The map bans are coming in. I feel like Metalworks is probably the first map considering they're still running around on it and they're
Yeah,
actively joining the server. We do have actually all of G6 in the server. 20ZC,
ready
not
to
as
go.
many. Yeah, actually, wait, there's 7 players? Oh no, Z Habib's on the wrong team. Are there any, you know the invite tendencies more than I do. Are there any players in invite and like upper invite who are always on the wrong team before the game starts? Like I don't think
Mm,
Habib's one of those players, but anyone in the server right
uh,
now who's a wrong team kind of player, just always starting on the opposite team?
it is usually something that is based on your opponents. If your opponents are like people that don't DM because they're like, I'm alt tabbed, let me know when you're ready up, like those types of players, and there's too many of them, then the pregame DM is really bad. So when you play scrims and matches for them, that's when they purposely join the wrong team because they can DM their teammates who are active. So
Ah.
it's less of a player thing and more of you're playing a certain opponent and a player is like, I nah, screw this. I'm not DMing these guys. There's like 3 of them despite 6 being in the server. I'm DMing my own team. But
Oh wow.
we do have the map
Double
bans.
cough ban.
Double
That's
cough ban.
crazy.
Okay, so G6, they
They
don't
got
want to try
product out
to
of the way.
yeah, they don't want to try to fix their product mistakes. And then the bagel ban does go through. So even though G6 I think has banned it in the past, it's about the matchup and they think that they're going to be worse on it and they don't want G6 to pick it. It's actually a Sunshine pick. Did we remember this wrong? Was it G6 that was previously banning Sunshine?
I feel like I'm correct, but that's also not worth much. But yeah, as you can see in the beginning, if you're unclear, G6, they as the upper bracket champions, they start with a 1 map advantage. So like, yo, they've already won a map. Didn't even have to play it. They're just that talented. So 1-0 for them in maps. They only need to win 2. So if G6 are having a really on night, we might be seeing the end of this on Sunshine. But at 20ZC, if they're having good games, we might go all the way to Process as our last map in the pool potentially. But yeah, looking at the bans, Metalworks for G6 makes sense. They had a very good showing on that, and it's interesting that 20ZC feel that they have a better chance of running it back on Metalworks than they do playing Bagel at all.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at least
Like Bagel's usually close.
Bagel's usually close, but it also means that because it's a close cough, it feels like it's a little out of your control to like really turn it, you know? Like
Yeah.
if you think about like anyone can do this. You think about flashbacks on like, let's see, reasons why I lost or my team lost. Usually you can like it's not just cope, but you can find genuine reasons in 5CP on why things spiraled out of control and it's like, oh, we lost because of the X, Y, and Z. On Koth, it's much more difficult to like, I mean, I guess they had better aim that day. I mean,
They shot bullets
like
better.
it's more complex than that, but still, it really feels like that sometimes if you think you did everything right. So it's not too crazy to see like a double Koth ban for one, and then two for a Koth ban to be prioritized over a 5CP between two very close teams.
It is nice also that they double get banned Koth, just because that way we probably don't have to worry about the wrong config. But
And it spares our voice a bit too. The
Yeah,
fact that there's
Koth-
some lulls in the fighting.
Koth is a little more hype, which is better for viewers. But for my voice, we've been casting for a lot the past 2 days, and we want to save all the excitement and don't want to ruin it immediately by having Koth as the first map.
These maps should be hype enough anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. Metalworks and Sunshine, Sultry, and Process. So a lot of familiar maps. And actually, if I am remember, it appears that the last map 20CC had decided between Goldie and Process, and they chose Process.
Stark differences.
Yeah, which is interesting that Goalie got left throughout all of it. I feel like Goalie's kind of a love it or hate it kind of map, even if it's a staple. It's definitely a bit unique. So the interesting that it got left through the entire time, but no one felt confident enough to pick it.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is mids can be kind of difficult for teams to really get a handle on. So you can talk about all the transitions you want, but because the way that it's like the mid ends before it begins is so unique, because it's not just a roamer going fast and killing your demo, it's like a lot of team play. If that does happen, it is much more difficult to fix. Like if you're playing a map like Sunshine or Process, and the mid ends before it begins because your demo got killed by a roamer, all you gotta do is say, okay, we'll just play passive so we can actually like start the mid. You can't say that for Gully Wash. If people are exploding in Big Door, it's more complex of an issue than saying "don't die, lol." Like it's
just don't die.
There's more to it than that. So you kind of there's some merit that like it's not something that you really want to gun for unless you have like particular confidence in it. Oh yeah, we've played this, we're good at it. Maybe we're familiar with the matchup, we're not as afraid of something like that happening. But if it's a bit of an unknown, which it's this 20CC roster is the entirety of its description, the unknown, then yeah, you're probably not going to mess with it. But we have the predictions running out, have for a second now, so you can have your 2 cents on what you think is going to happen. For reference, last night against a slightly different 20CC roster, G6 beat them 5-1. Question is, what will happen today? Any initial thoughts, Space?
Well, yeah, last time, like you mentioned, it was 5-1, but different roster. No Jay. And I think I don't know if Jay. I don't know if I call Jay a Metalworks scout. I don't know if that such a thing exists, but definitely Metalworks could be interesting. We actually have all 12 players in the server, just Logan and Spectate. But yeah, I think G6 are going to run it back and win the map. I don't know how. Well, I don't know. 20CC did have time to discuss and think over things, and if they didn't ban it, that must mean they are less afraid of playing it than we might lead to believe. So I don't think it's going to be a 5-1 again. I think it's going to be closer. I don't know if 20CC have enough to fix it, but I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say I think it's going to be a 4-3 20CC. I actually think they might be able to fix it.
I think so far the trend for this playoffs has been if you're really unsure on why a team has picked a certain map, even if they don't win it, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt that it's at least not going to be a roll. And so far that's kind of been the case. So because I'm not really sure what 20ZC have altered, I'll give them some props and say that it shouldn't be a roll. Like they pick it for a reason, especially since G6 didn't really have a whole lot of moments where a weakness was exploited and they really got handed to them. So if 20CC put the work in, maybe watch a demo for a bit, you like try to figure out what some of their issues were, it's going to be difficult to close things out. I think it's going to be a closer game, but I still feel like it's going to be G6 favored. J Scout should be monstrous, but I don't know how much impact he'll be able to have in terms of turning
Metalworks
the
is not the map, the
turning
map for
yeah,
it.
on Metalworks in particular, turning the tide. I mean, he'll be participating in the Ubers, which will be a thing, but that's about it for the most part. It's gonna be a lot of the pace of the projectile classes with the transitions and initiations. So I will say a a 3-1 in favor of G6.
You know, one thing we might forget to mention about is 20cc also has Coach Zilly as well. Maybe Coach Zilly went in there after the match and set him straight.
True. It's always nice to have a bird's eye view to
Yeah,
well, to let your team know where they're screwing up.
yeah, Coach Zilly, maybe even Coach High Five. So who knows? But definitely going into this, I'm excited. We do have all 12 players in the server. They're all running around DMing. Another good time. Who's actually AFK? Let's see. Kobe is AFK on one team, and all of 20cc seems to be running around. We do have Ash. No, that's not Ash. That's Brand Slam running around on the sniper class, killing everyone who's just AFK.
And Jay and Lolga are just abstaining right now. They don't want a pregame DM. They're just having fun at last.
They have a truce. That's good. Yeah, that truces are. Yeah, that's. Oh, Jay got bored apparently, ran away.
Any initial thoughts on the opportunity to off class? How much we're going to see? You see bot mode on it now, and Brand Slam.
Yeah, I think Sniper on Metalworks is underrated. It's not as strong as some maps like Snakewood or Process, but I do think Sniper's pretty good. I think J Sniper could pop off this game. I think it's a lot more likely on other maps, but yeah, I could see, especially pushing into last because of the shutter door. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a fair amount of snipers just trying to break last holds, just because the shutter door makes it a lot easier to pressure things, and Mimic has to hide in a very kind of awkward side of the wall when they're holding in the anti-sniper spot on Metalworks.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a primary way that teams will try to break into last. Just force them into in a particular spot via the sniper, and then have someone else other than the sniper go in for the sack. And then, I don't know,
How do you
sliding
feel
through
about the
underpass
mids?
isn't too bad. For the mids,
I feel like we saw a lot of aggression from 20cc on the mids, and it got punished very hard.
I think it depends. I think it's going to be a game of cat and mouse where you can initiate, as we're going live actually. You can initiate, and that can be really good to make sure you clean up on all the damage that your explosive classes do early on via spam. But if the other team is playing passive enough to where they just farm you, you don't do anything. So you really have to recognize the pace which the other team is playing and make sure you don't overstealth your welcome, because you might be walking into a meat grinder if you're not too careful. But we're ready to see. It's the grand final. Sophie's fast, and this first mid is going underway.
True. Logan did start the mid with a little less HP than Habib. Habib was just a little bit healthier, but Habib is actually going to be very healthy arriving into this mid. He need a little bit of damage, and well, guys also need a little bit of damage. Both teams very content to just spam. Nothing too crazy going on right now. We do see a hurt player out of Brand Slam and out of Jay. They're both getting healthy, whereas G6 I feel like might have a little bit of an advantage health-wise. But Habib getting very far and getting actually knocked back, living with 4 HP. And G6 are winning this just as of health and positioning. Artist might actually be a late casualty here. He is. Oh, I got the back.
Everyone on 20cc, there were 4 separate players that went to red health, and they were unable to clean up those frags, but it didn't matter. They used the positioning, they used the cap time, and that is a first mid fight that doesn't even lead to a single kill. Although it probably should have. At the end of the day, G6 is going to be at least happy that things went their way. As in the driver's seat, they got their ready to go, and Sophie immediately going for the skip through the bridge, trying to find any target.
Habib has the sneaky
maybe a
trap.
soldier, but will die.
I don't know if he spotted it, but Habib has a sneaky trap out in Valley. It is behind the crate. He did it on the way to mid, but it is time for the counter sacks. They're moving up in Valley, seeing what they can make done. Artist is walking through, and it is actually Ash who's kind of fake bombing. He's bombing by the crate, maybe getting a little healthier. But look how far Jay and they just got in. G6 is so much space that they're content to just maybe fight this.
Yeah, they're trying to get a lot of spam. They have some room. G6 are definitely trying to hold their ground. Howard's actually taking a lot of spam, and that's going to end the 20cc counter sack. As no one dies. They know that Sophie's returned. They got the health on a medic a bit low and don't want to commit too far. So back to second they go, cutting their losses in G6. With Sophie's return, it's time to go for a different sack this time, probably. Trying to figure out which door to really go through. The first bridge sack, the execution was fine, but the target selection, I mean, you just shot a soldier that ended up jumping away, but looks like they want to maybe move towards alley. Walking outside just a tad. I think they're trying to figure out exactly how they want to do this.
He has the anti-roamer stickies. He has the I don't want the roamer to play the game sticky. So Sophie might be in for a little world of hurt. Actually, he's going to go through main again. Howard is actually going to have a good surf backwards. Ash is actually going to fight Kobe, and he's going to win. That's 2 deaths, and both soldiers dead means there's going to be a lot less spam to deal with. And Artist is going to fall, but they're buying space. And they're actually might contest. They drop caps, so there's a lot of players dead. Habib is hurt, but there's only 3 players left on the side of G6, and they might get fourth if they're not careful.
Yeah, bomb in from one of the soldiers, but they're dropping like flies. They're so deep, and they're a bit isolated.
Bomb might be caught out.
They gotta
Bombwood
get
is
this
gonna
scout.
die.
Yeah, they're holding on to this point. G6 do have respawners if they do want to eventually try to use his Uber, but they don't have scouts available to run forward, and that means they just have to work off Span. If they can dodge this and deny Soapy
But
from
it's
initiating,
Habib.
and as
Soapy
soon as I
can't get
say
in.
that, he can't get in to initiate.
Oh,
But
Habib though!
Logan just owns them. Soapy going in for the force onto Howard, surfing back 2 rockets, but it's not enough. It's not enough damage. Both medics about half HP, but a sliver of cap time left. 20C can't contain it, and G6 are able to hold on, keeping the mid for themselves.
That was such a good attempt from 20ZC. We've noticed that neither team seems really that want to give up much. They're both playing like they know they have a lot to lose. Both soldiers actually going to bomb in Valley. One's a fake bomb. Actually, both are fake bombs. They're just trying to get some stim. We do have bomb mode in lower. He's going to beat up Artist, landing where they fall. But huge plays from Ash, killing a scout. And the other scout is so hurt. Bomb mode actually going to run out and live with single-digit HP. So that could have been a little bit more disastrous for G6. But at the end of the day, it is just a 1-for-1 trade. And they're going to settle back on mid. And both teams really don't want to seem content to give up too much here.
Yeah, G6, they got all the time in the world. Well, maybe not if it resets, but usually this is a pretty advantageous spot for a team. Most of the time, whoever wins, not just the mid fight, but whoever owns mid is in a pretty good spot, because I think it's much easier to try to break into the stalemate rather than try to get out of it. So the team that's trying to break into the next point can usually find success more often than not on this map. There's only so much room that Howard has to kind of dodge these soldier bombs.
Low guy is almost,
and if he's
40 HP.
Oh god, he is 40 HP. He has the pack though. But the thing is, if Howard is too passive, like if he kites in the shutter too hard, they'll just maybe start trying to kill people that are over by the point instead. Like maybe Ash should be the target to kill and he roll off the single pick, even though it's not the medic force you're so desiring. And you can see the fact that Howard is passive over by the shutter. They're just willingly standing in alley and no one's really contesting them.
Kobe's
actually gonna die though.
Sophie's gonna die too.
Sophie's dying as well. Both soldiers once again falling in bot mode
3. Bombo dies.
Fransim gets that kill, 3 alive for G6, and just as I was hyping up how advantageous the moment is to be able to own mid and try to break into the stalemate.
Artist is going for a big, he could have gone for a big flank. Decided against it, decided to preserve his life, preserve the 3 kills, and off of that, 20ZC and Iron defense on second. And G6, their sacks, I felt like they just blood flares trying to get in position to sack. They didn't want to just send single sacks, they tried to pressure, getting all the people in the doors, get spam out, but it just could not work out. GCC came in on top.
Oh, he gets arrowed right before the final rocket comes out, so not gonna be able to catch that frag. But yeah, they were really on the ball trying to push out of their own too, and G6 is kind of doing the same thing, just to a different degree. I think they'll have a lot more house presence, but not really gonna find a frag. So be bombing in for some space. He gets 2 rockets on Howard, does indeed have to pop 12 HP, saving Habib as well, but overall, 2 dead for 20cc as G6 moving forward. They still have the Uber, haven't used it quite yet. Lots of weak players trying to run away as fast as they can, but Artist is not going to be so lucky. Dying in the hallway, Cap's able to pistol him down as G6 have locked down mid. Lost it for just a moment, but it's okay. It's got the Uber, which is better than what they were in previously as Brand Slam. Maybe going for a hero shot.
Oh, he's in the lower, he's in the low. He's in the good angle. I think they spotted it. I think they did.
Yeah, they spotted it and saw the dot. So Kobe kind of zoning him out, has to back up.
That's a good attempt, though. That spot can be sneaky, and if they didn't spot that early, that definitely could have been a disaster. Howard's still on 25% disset, so G6 have a small opportunity here if they want to go in, or they might want to spam. We do have the sentry out in spawn, and they actually are going to use...
It got eaten by spam, and he got jumped around and wasn't able to actually go in deep to this Uber. I mean, they got Ash, but it wasn't even from the Uber. Kobe bombs in, gets a little bit of damage on Artist, but that's going to be all she wrote for the bomb, except Sophie going in, finds the force onto Howard. They've given it up a little bit, but bot mode in the spawn, barely able to find Habib before he takes his last breath. Jay able to pistol him down as overall it's a 3v3 as they're done lingering inside the lobby, just backing up, cutting the losses. As even though the Uber ad didn't go their way, they have about relatively the same ad once again and are getting ready for a try two. They should. I mean,
they did pop much earlier.
Yeah, they popped first, and the Uber came way later from 20cc.
Although I don't know if they're gonna go on because bomb mode is on sniper. Looks like they're gonna like to play the slow game here, see if they can get into last and do anything. And I mentioned it in the pregame that sniper is pretty good on this point, a little underrated. The shutter door helps a lot because you don't see the sniper, then suddenly he can see your whole team. So if 20cc aren't careful, they could be in the receiving end of some sniping today.
Yeah. They're starting to get closer to the point. Headshot onto Ash. He's not going to be able to find any remorse, and he is going to die. So some doors open for the side of G6 to get some extra space.
Almost
The
going for a
gun
hero play.
is finally built up. We do have Jay counter-sniping, standing on the point with Howard. Is bot mode, peeking around. Bomb coming in, finding Howard in the corners. Nice surf onto the box. They'll be unable to hit the mark with a second rocket, and that is going to be a failed sack from G6 after getting that opening pick on the sniper. Pulse Sniper is still in play though. 20C on the move just a tad. Got to make sure you don't die to any traps that are in lobby. Speaking of traps, there's some right above the shutter that are kind of being watched by Logan through the window. Nice little angle that he's sitting at to make sure they can get that det in time, but they recognize that trap spot. Pretty common and are going to be able to knock it off. But bought enough time where they can't really find opportunity to counter sack, and except finding Kobe in lobby, that's going to be well enough to maybe try to go and peek the shutter again.
Agree, and definitely bot mode looking at Ash here. Ash is trying to get spam out on blue team. Blue team, they're just looking to sit behind the wall, not too much. They want to wait for Kobe to spawn, whereas, you know, we do have this kind of sniper v sniper thing going on. They're looking at different angles. Jay is buffed, bot mode is not buffed, so if they take this, Jay can hit the body shot. Bot mode actually rotating for a buff. But Jay gonna back up. There is some aggressive angles you can take. The shutter door does work both ways, so could be. Now Jay is elected to watch the other side of lobby where G6.
Jay's locked in. Oh, never mind. Bot mode was
jinxed
blocking
it.
him out, but yeah, as soon as it said that, rotates to a different doorway.
Veeb actually tracking up the flank too, if you notice. Veeb trapping up the flank and the shutter door. Bot mode trying to peek. They actually are clearing the stickies off the shutter door. Trying to see bot mode, but bot mode really doesn't have that much to see, and Jay is on a sneaky counter sniper angle.
Yeah, it's difficult for this spot for 20cc because
Jay
get a
peeked a
frag.
good angle, but unable to hit the shot. You gonna back up, and Jay, I gotta say, both snipers are being very disciplined about their buffs, which is what you like to see. You don't want to get body shot. Gotta make it. If you're gonna get die, you at least gotta make him hit the headshot.
Oh, Ash, he's dead. Oh my God, the arrow! What?
Oh.
Oh, he still dies. All right, well, I thought that was gonna be a 6 save, but he's still dead in the grave. So technically, it's gonna be a frag in favor of G6, but they gotta use this door opening. I mean, they're
Almost in the left door. He's walking
more.
Habib stickies. I don't know if Habib's watching. He moves past the stickies. He's on Howard. I see the dodge.
Missed shot.
He
Dies.
Habib finally turned around and dead.
Missed surf though. Oh, the second rocket. The sentry pushed him out of the way, and Howard is not going to eat it. Is going to be able to live. As Ash is committing on spot. He's not just checking. He's actually walking through.
Yeah, Ash Spy, definitely an all-time classic. He doesn't go with that often.
Bot mode 2. They're not just checking. They're committing.
Ooh, okay, we have the double spy sniper action going on. A lot of Highlander gameplay going on, and that's a huge opening pick for bot mode because now they're gonna have to back up. They have no idea. They have no idea. Oh, he gets it. They turn around.
Surf though, is he gonna live? He could be a nuisance. He's making the combo around.
Wait, how is he still alive? He lived for so long.
Yeah,
and the question is,
too long of a walk.
Now do they know if bot mode's on spy? Because now they don't have a spy to check.
Yeah, no one really. I mean, it's mostly artists that checks, but I don't think they really expect this. Even though they just had a spy themselves, bot mode's in position to go for whatever he wants to. Maybe not whatever he wants to.
He might sap the gun and have Soapy sec. That's what. Yeah, that's what's happening. But there's no one. Yeah, actually, they're triple sacking. Looks like they do get Habib and Logan's just in. Look at Logan. That's a 4-man, and they only got Habib. They 4-man for Habib.
Yeah, usually you want way more than that. You take that risk knowing that we're bringing in so much firepower, it should be fine. Even if we don't get the force, we'll at least get something. It'll
they have 30 seconds left too.
I guess, you know, last hurrah. But you know, at least you still own mid. That is something to work with. Is actually Jay is still on sniper. He walked out.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Two and Soapy actually sacking early, really deep, getting some damage. Not quite on the flash you want. I mean,
Jay's getting ran at by Caps. Caps is just in.
True. They were all
Caps might be put out though. He has got to be careful. He has teammates. Oh, Jay is so for the plot armor.
Barely lives. Caps get him with the last shot of his pistol.
Caps had to commit so hard for that, and actually bot mode's on spy again behind. Throughout all of that, who would expect?
Oh, he's going
Howard
for
has no idea. That's a drop.
Nice play from bot mode. Didn't expect that a second time, and he completely jukes him as well. He's still alive and go for a second frag later on. The decloak immediately comes out. The paranoia is still set in. He might find Habib or at least distract him if he doesn't get this kill. Logan's kind of aggressive.
Habib
he found Habib in the
but...
corner, surfing away. Habib is gets pistoled
Wait, he
down.
got Habib and he lived.
It's wild. Might be able to
spy class is making
too.
some miracles happen right now. Jay might be caught out too. He's got to be careful. Actually, Jay, they're gonna get a kill. Jay does manage to live, and there still is a spy. Bot mode still on spy in full Uber ad. This is how do you push last with a spy on Metalworks? What's the theory?
You probably not this way. You probably need an Uber left and the spy will decloak right. So bot mode has a wall.
They have no one to block. Oh, they do have someone to block.
But they have a pyro.
Jay switched off pyro. They do get bot mode, but that is going to be the round. Bot mode typing well played as a. Yeah, that was a round. That was just the spy play worked eventually. Yeah, third time's the charm.
I mean, even besides the spy, the fact they Ubered, they played that perfectly where they Ubered in. But they got the cap time because they didn't think there were very many easy kills, especially because you have a spy that can't go for the stab immediately. Your kill threat is just immediately lowered so much more compared to a normal last push. So you go for the cap time. I don't think 20cc had the mobility, I guess, to really go for the block, so that's a round conversion in favor of G6. We head into the next mid.
Habib died. Nope, that's the mid.
Quick.
That's the mid.
Yeah,
I think
mid's over.
Yeah, Bode missed. So that's 2 mids now in the favor of G6, and these mids, one mid lasted forever and no one died, and the other mid was over before it started. So that's two very different variations of Metalworks mid.
And a Delman pick is going to be very huge to push off of. Actually,
Ash
you
is
see some
pushing into
Soldier
lobby.
battling. Yeah, I mean, it's worked before. Kobe's died twice like that so far, but Sophie coming to help is going to be able to trade that out.
Oh, they're just walking through the door. They get both.
They're walking through. Cap's actually super deep, trying to zone out Habib as the Uber comes through and tries to clean him up. And they will actually kill him at last.
Howard
okay. Eventually does die to Logan. 3 left alive for both these teams. As Habib didn't even die when they chased him the last to get him, but they are able to clean up Jay. They're going on a Brand Slam now, trying to hold the remaining of the red players. But Brand Slam don't ever get the kill on the Caps, but kind of being wary about chasing the low guy. Knows that he can die in one arrow. Goes for pack instead. Takes an alternative route, but it might be too little too late as Soapy has arrived. Might be a bit too much health to really chew through, and we'll just take solace in the fact that he got a couple on his way out as overall a technical victory for G6, but so slight that it doesn't really amount to much at all.
20cc should be happy they managed to equalize that situation, honestly. I wouldn't blame them. They're just like, well, we're holding second again. That's fine. I
think the biggest thing is it took so long to chase after Habib. They took that Uber into last and still didn't kill him. He had 8 HP left remaining.
Yeah, there was a lot of... Howard lived for so long, too. Like, he was a late death, but they had to spend a lot of resources to kill him. He was like 1 HP in the corner, managed to get lower, get the pack. It took the demo committing to finally kill him. You have small ad to work with, but it's only 10%, so I think it's just gonna settle into normal sacks. Yeah, do see 20cc playing normally. Actually, Artist immediately eating just a direct across the map. That's gonna signal the end of his aggression.
Yeah, G6, I think they realized that they are a bit too slow. They're still showing presence because they have to break the stalemate, but they're not just full sending it in for ad. Soapy's actually going through lower, finding Habib, stuck in the corner, hits the shot up against the wall. Habib dead on the grave. That's no stickies available for the side of the red team to lock things down. Blue team walking forward, bomb coming in from Artist to try to buy some extra time, but the flank from G6 hasn't really initiated yet. The Uber exchange comes out on the alley side, a couple flash from the side. G6 keeps the players alive, but they're ready for post. Artist trying to lock down the bridge, but Kobe's there, ready to bomb. They want to get a fight this. They're on top of the point. Initiation coming in. Kobe binds the space, finds 2 players on top of each other, inside each other's models, and the red team is so weak when their HP, their soldiers immediately falling. Jay might fall as well. Bot mode and Kobe working together to clean up those frags. They're caught in the shutter. Howard is so weak. Brand Slam's behind. Finding Kobe just a tad, but the rest of the team from blue side is rushing into the last area, trying to kill Habib. Will he be able to pistol him down? Is Cabs and Brand Slam trying to go for a Hail Mary play on Logan, but will not be successful. No one is available. It is just Howard. Another round collected in favor of G6.
I think Kobe might have single-handedly won it for him with just a really sick direct on 2 players as they bombed into second. Kobe had a bomb, hit just 2 directs, and that was it. Like, Artist was out of the fight, as Scout was hurt. That might have been just that Kobe bomb single-handedly got them that round, but this is a 2-0 for G6. This is their map pick. This is the first map in the series, and oh god, I forgot how long this rollout was.
Yeah, this is a really long rollout. It relies on a lot of time killing. You're a bit deceptive to it, but yeah, bombs coming in immediately, actually from the red team.
Ooh,
Habib
Ash is
dead again. Habib is dying so quickly on these mids, but they're just forcing it, trying to walk across to the other side of the map in the other team's valley. If they lose this, they are stuck in no man's land, but so far, so good. 3v4 scenario in favor of 20cc, but the spam! Be mindful of Kobe. They're trying
Kobe
to
is making
clean up
miracles
the
happen.
They can't get sandwiched by both these players. They gotta make sure that, okay, they do indeed kill Kobe, so it's just Logan and Lol got to deal with, but they are on the wrong side of the map. They gotta make sure
both scouts versus a demo.
Both these teams got to make sure they get to their own respective side and don't find themselves caught
up
with
low
much damage. He eats the pack, but he's finding himself caught in a corner. Logan's the last one left alive. They are unable to escape. 2 scout speeds.
Caps is going to go in sack.
Thinking about it, not too far away, is a capping up, and bot mode's back on his favorite class again.
True. You know, that might be the demo man's worst nightmare, is like 2 buff scouts just running at you and you have heals, but...
Oh, I thought you were going to say the spy. The Demon's worst nightmare.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe that too. At this point,
maybe. It might be the medic's worst nightmare.
Yeah, bot mode actually... Oh, he's committed too. He's in very deep. I wonder...
Block 2. That's about it, though.
Yeah, he can maybe
there's
block
2 capping, though. They're
there's 2
afraid
capping.
about it getting stopped.
They look like they know. Yeah, they know.
Yeah, they're afraid of something. Uber comes in, gun down, trying to chase down Kobe. We'll find him in the corner, able to clean him up. Soapy trying to lay on the hurt, but still Ubered players. Oh, Artist on top of the light post is Soapy. He bombs in, but just too high, not enough damage, and Jay will get the cap all on his lonesome round in favor of 20ZC.
How did they know Bomb Mode was on the spy? That's my question, because they were paranoid of something. Maybe they just knew Bomb Mode was live for so long. Maybe they didn't know he was on spy, but they knew that he was going to try something on second. He was alive for that long that there's a possibility.
They might have not have been afraid of spy in particular, but afraid that someone was going to be hiding somewhere.
Yeah,
like in
Bomb Mode was
alley.
alive, he could have hid. So
yeah, 1v1 somewhere.
But regardless, heading into a new mid here. Habib actually getting ran at again, going to fall very low. But the aggression from 20ZC, they know they were aggressive last time and it worked. Then the entire G6 team, they're just in their own lobby. They're finally leaving. Kobe is behind. He just mentioned the cleanup artist, but Jay is on the prowl. He's going to chase. Kobe getting a bow though. Jay's going to have to back up, and G6 is out of another mid. These mids really have not been going the way of 20ZC. They won the last one, but that was at the tail end. And Kobe going to that drop down, cleans up Jay. Big blaze there from Kobe, cleaning up Jay at the very tail end of that. That is not ideal. Although Kobe is going to fall. Okay, that's at least a saving grace.
Doesn't quite hit the mark, but I think Howard was so weak that the entirety of that mid, and he was unable to really feel safe enough to actually get to the truck pack as well to heal himself back up, that it made it really hard for 20ZC to fight. If your medic can't really commit to actually walk up one of the sides, you're never going to really feel like you can actually take the space. And here comes Soapy going for the sack, not really going to find too much.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we said, if they think that Howard is too passive as a target, that he's just going to walk onto the shutter, and they're not going to be able to really get a second rocket on him, just go for someone else that maybe isn't beamed. So they're just thinking that Habib's going to hold the ground, try to lock down the doors, and he's the next most impactful frag that maybe they think is actually obtainable, but didn't really work out that time. Is speaking of not really working out, Soldier's taking a bit of damage, and same can be said for Habib, but you actually have Branson getting chased down by Kobe and Capsu.
There's two players
on
behind.
the two. Howard alone in alley is going to have to pop as they were distracted by Botmood who ran through the bridge, so it was all a ruse as the force does indeed come out in favor of G6. So what a play, only getting the frag, chasing Branson out of the house, but then working as a distraction to allow the bomb come through towards alley, finding Howard alone and getting the force.
That was some huge coordination there from G6, and now they have full Uber to work with. Howard only on 30%. You're going to try to build up best he can, but they got to delay in second long enough to get this Uber on last, or things might not end well. So they gotta have some good spam or something. G6 do have the time to take this a bit slowly, but they want to go relatively fast. Branson actually pushing lobby a little bit, just spotting, and he saw I think he did see both soldiers in lobby, so they know they don't have to worry about bombs, at least right off the bat from Valley. And they're already 80%.
Somewhat, but yeah, they bought some time, but they definitely can't hold this for too long. Might just leave one and keep walking. They're actually able to find Ash, which is going to be useful, even if this does even out to a degree. The question is, do G6 think they actually have any obtainable ad? Either way, it's going to be an Uber exchange, but they brought a whole lot. Logan getting flashed. They have to escape now. They definitely thought this was going to be an Uber, not an Uber exchange, but Logan, he's getting chased down. 16 HP is going to get scattergun down. Branson and Jay working.
Kobe's on last.
But yeah, oh, he is on last. He's on top of the point. He actually gets the kill into Artist, brings the entire team back to G6. Does not have the resources to capitalize. Lost too many in the surprise Uber exchange they thought was ad, and we're now sitting at the end of the bridge inside their own houses. 20ZC only have one casualty, despite G6 having some respawn. This is definitely locked down in 20ZC's favor as they start up the cap up, get it stacked up in their favor. As with Artists respawning, I don't think this is a window that G6 will probably drop of. It's looking like another stalemate.
This is looking like another stalemate, and definitely more back and forth. I think the last game you watched between these two teams on this map was pretty back and forth. So
it was back and forth, but it was whenever G6 found a way to push in a last, they got it. They got that point very quickly.
So maybe they the last holds have been fixed, or regardless of what happened, G6 now on the move. Yeah, and actually 20CC have a little bit of like baby Uber ad, but not enough to really do anything off of. G6, you know, they've been okay getting into these second holds, but definitely last has been a tough nut to crack for them, and even second sometimes they've been unable to fully get in without giving up too much.
At least it's not Sultry. That was talk about a tough nut to crack when it comes to the last
Soapy.
hold. But Soapy, I mean, tried to get closer to the door to actually bomb
he got
through
like
it,
levitated by like spam rockets, and it was just over. Yeah,
but
it was
Botmode's having a fun time, grand old time. Look at him go. He's on sniper. First spy, now sniper. He's trying to lock things down in Valley. This is definitely not the right quote-unquote door to push up against a sniper, but definitely didn't know of his existence. So Botmode going towards underpass.
That was honestly a good read.
Shoot some feet maybe. Question is how deep.
Oh, look at where Howard is.
How deep does Botmode go before they begin to start to really punish him?
Oh, how Botmode actually going for the quick scope on Brand Slam, unable to get it. Gonna back up, but yeah, playing against a sniper can be pretty stressful, especially on second. There's all different places you can go, and Valley's a really long angle, so you can see pretty decently far into Valley if that's where he chooses to go. But they're gonna take their time. They have one round up, so they have, both teams have all the time in the world, but G6 can afford to play a little bit slower if they so choose. Bot mode heading into lobby, and it looks like that's where he's going to try to go. He's kind of trying to do the chat. Actually, bot mode looks like he doesn't really know where he wants to go.
There's no shot they actually get a sniper in through lobby. It's going to be a soldier bomb, though. Howard in the corner will end up getting forced. They were so worried about the sniper. The classic, you forgot about the fact that a soldier could come in and bomb it in a second, and the fact that Howard is not as passive at the shutter. It's much easier for Soapy to close that gap and get that force, and indeed he does. Back against the wall, Howard has to expend his Uber. And now G6 have the trials and tribulations of, oh, never mind, bot mode's already at the forward spawn. So he's not, they're not pushing.
They're going to buy time, though. This might be similar to last time where by the time they're starting to get in, if they realize that bot mode's still not on sniper, if they can pick up on that, they might be able to refight second or even have something happen. Looks like we're going to see some fake bombs, and they haven't seen a sniper yet, which is going to, tip off something that, hey, maybe bot mode switched off, and they're already at 80%. If G6 don't, go really quickly, they might get Uber in time. And look at the damage Caps is nuked.
That was huge. They've given up off, so Habib died, just spammed. He got owned from both the explosive classes, and now they're walking forward to get Ash as well. All the projectile classes from 20cc are just dropping like flies. Is trying to make a move.
Exchange.
Yeah, poking around. They maybe want to get a force even. It doesn't seem like they want to commit too far with their medic. They're just buying some time and getting as much room as they can before they actually commit in. Bomb mode, getting some extra room over on the side of the flank. Kobe gonna initiate as well. Just getting on top of the cap. The Uber will ring out as everyone just going in. It's a 4-man trying to get Habib with your last breath, and will indeed get the rocket off Soapy, collecting that frag as a 4-man. Deja vu only
at least
gets
I got the Uber this time.
Yeah.
Wait, but Artist is very aggressive, and Logan looks like he really wants to fight this. Gonna back up, though. So they do have Uber, but they're gonna get second off of this, and they're gonna be able to build Soapy Meister, and bot mode got really slow respawn. So that's gonna put a bit of a damper in this, but it's funny. 20cc can't get off second, but G6 just cannot get into last. It is the impossible challenge. I feel like the 20cc holds on second are making it so that the last defenses just are a little too clean.
Yeah, sometimes your defense is just strong enough to hold on, but Brand Sam would be the first to fall. Ash is actually really weak as well, so until he gets healed up, he's just going to fall, initiating in. With 2 dead right off the bat, Soapy only expend a little bit of HP to make that happen, and they're just capping up. The only thing for 20cc now is, despite losing 2, they've got enough time to go ahead and have the Uber, but still deja vu. G6, even Ubers, they have 2 picks to work off of, poking down the doors in main, and going in, trying to buy some space. Bomb coming from Soapy allows bot mode to get initiate in over on a J. Doesn't take too much damage. Kobe tickling the point just a tad, brings the soldiers over. Soapy once again initiating on to Howard. Bot mode following through, but the damage isn't quite there to actually collect any kills. A 2-man that finds nothing more than just red health, red players, as G6 unable to find it. 20cc hold on just a tad more.
Yeah, Logan is going to dead his sticks, and they know that Jay might be caught if they're not careful. Logan is going to manage to box him in, but he's able to get on. Jay's taking so much damage. They're actually going to just exchange through, try to get any kills they can. But Kobe, he's mating so well, they're not going to get anything with this Uber. They got literally nothing. It was just a scout solo, but Kobe just managed to dodge his way, and that is a Uber wasted.
Jay, I think he thought that Soldier was going to be much easier to kill than Initial. Like, he went down there as if, like, yeah, I'll just shoot him once and then I'll turn around and get the force, but committed hard for it and it paid the price. Now they have Disad, Pyro coming in, Jay locking him out in the corner, but he will give up his life. Soapy did indeed die for that, so not going to have the full squad there for this post-Uber, but there's a lot of cap time given by Caps. Bomb given from Kobe, looping around to get some damage on Habib, and then cleaning house from the explosive classes.
Habib's still alive, though.
Squad. They're trying to make sure that they
Ransom
can
just needs
win
to buy
this
time.
fight.
Habib's
Over
up now,
towards
but
the
he
point.
needs to block the point. Oh, just barely not in time. That's a 3-1 for G6. Heading in, only 4 minutes left before it gets to infinite overtime, and if I'm 20cc, I really need to get this mid win.
Yeah, Green kind of bit them at the end there, and they really have to win this mid. So far, a lot of the mids have been washed, but other times it's been a classic. Either Habib is taking too much damage and then the mid's over, or Howard takes too much damage so he can't heal aggressive people, and then the positioning is just better for G6. So the initial spam is definitely working on their favor, but what's the remedy for better initial spam? Like, that's easier said than done. It's like, shoot better. Like, that's not productive.
Actually, it looks like TB was a bit aggressive going to get spam, but Caps is just sitting on the point. 20cc very far back, although the health isn't super bad. Actually, look at the G6 scouts. They are so hurt. They're going to have to back up. G6 actually may be the ones who are losing this mid, as Jay's going to get a kill. Artist gets a kill. Jay gets another kill. Caps gets a kill, and Artist. That seems to be it. And after that, 20cc win another mid, and that's one they desperately needed as they want to start on the enemy side of the map because they had a lot of trouble getting off of theirs.
Yeah, they played much faster that time around. It wasn't an initial bomb as soon as they arrived, but it was definitely pretty
Logan!
quick.
Oh, Logan's caught.
I think he wanted the ammo and just went down to get it real quick, but didn't realize they were in so deep, and now there's no Demon available for the blue
Jay's
team.
just walking at Kobe.
Through. He's unafraid, putting the hurt onto Sophie, blasting back, but the heavy is out on the side of bot mode. We're trying to take some space. Kobe might give up his life for it. Ash is going to give up his in a sack that's unsuccessful. Sophie's taking a lot of damage. Bot mode holding down the fort, and 20cc. I think they've realized the opportunity, despite Logan being dead still, is gone. We'll back up. We'll be fine with the second they've gotten, and we'll go ahead and go for, I think this is the first time that we've stalemated with 20cc being so close to pushing last without it being just like uber advantage. So we'll see how they crack this.
Only 2 minutes until the infinite overtime happens, and then G6 gets match point. And if I'm 20cc, do you want this to go to overtime and then you cap? Because if you cap this and then they cap mid, you start out overtime on your side of the map, you could just instantly lose.
It doesn't change the win limit. I think that's the main thing that changed it. I think G6 would do that if they were in the driver's seat, because they would immediately win. But no matter what, you can't win with 2 points. You have to get to like 3 or 4 or whatever, right?
Grand Slam Sniper.
So just go ahead and get the round where you can have it. But yeah, Grand Slam is on Sniper. He's a little shutter for a long while, but I guess he's going for an alternative angle, maybe trying to see if he can get Soapy. It can be kind of hard to stand where Soapy is standing. You have to literally pixel walk almost and make sure you're not in a sniper sideline. And if you get pushed out all, yeah, he tried to jump back up.
Oh, there goes Soapy.
Immediately gets body shot back down into the spam and does indeed die. So much easier opening frag. But what do you do from there? You got some little bit less spam, but there's still a pyro, there's still a gun, there's still stickies everywhere. It's easier said than done. And Jay, as he tries to peek the door, he immediately pays the price. Kobe has it on lockdown. Gave up a little bit of health, but gets arrowed up and is A-okay. As overall it is a 1-for-1 trade.
It is a 1-for-1 trade. G6 though, they have a lot of the fun classes, so not exactly. It's super easy for them to do anything off of that other than just stabilize. Grand Slam still on Sniper, and Jay gonna come up again, so just run it back. They seem perfectly okay playing the slow game here and killing time, making sure that they have all the time in the world once overtime hits, and they don't want to give up this opportunity to make it a 3-2.
Is there? Oh, never mind. I was thinking that the
look at G6's positioning here. The sniper makes teams play so passive on this map.
Actually, this is pretty aggressive. Like, look how close to the wall they are.
Yeah, that's
normally
true.
You'd see like a medic that's close to their spawn or whatever, and a soldier would have to go miles to get the bomb. But look at this. Single surf that second rocket, it almost hit. Just barely missed, and Lolgai will live to fight another day, but this is a sketchy scenario for the side of G6. They can't continue this forever. It's only a matter of time. They gotta make sure one of these counter stacks works out in their favor. Maybe catch someone out in lobby or find an opening. Maybe 20cc will feel like that they have to go for some giant like 2 or 3 man the same way G6 was doing. But so far that hasn't been their game plan. As 30 seconds left until we enter infinite overtime and the win limit will be set to 4. So people who thought a scoreline would end with 4 rejoice as you're one step closer to getting your Predatorite. But Grand Slam Sniper still seems to be their path to victory. Might be able to find Soapy. Finding the angle, looking for it. Not quite yet. We're jumping away, so maybe another day. Yeah,
maybe another day, indeed. Be laying down stickies, and the one thing about this spot, like you mentioned, is that they have a tele entrance for Lolgai to get out if he gets bombed. That's
a sick meme.
Yeah, that's genius. 500 IQ plays by bot mode there with the tele. Just able, and it goes right to spawn too, so he can't escape. Here comes the second. Yeah, Lolgai took the tele.
Took it.
That's love to see it. That's some technology.
Yep. So 2-man rips out. G6 on the move, trying to poke about. They got some explosive classes still up, but Soapy might actually find an opening. One soldier dead. Bombs in on Habib. He's a closer target. Pretty important. Able to take him down. A lot of damage on an artist who is a bit weak. Oh, that score shot almost hit and killed him, but the arrow will be true and we'll go ahead and keep him alive. But 2 soldiers, 1 on purpose, 1 accident, so not a whole lot of spam here for the side of G6 to really lock down the doors. Although 20Z does not have a demo man, it's going to be really hard to make sure this gun does indeed die, as Pyro is still on the field and will affect all the rockets in the world as long as you let him. So might be easier said than done bombing in. As Artist bombs in, hits his head. They're getting some space.
They're actually committing everyone. They're committing everyone. They get the force. That's a 3-man. The 3-man get the force. And they didn't get any kills, so G6 might not even want to recap this, honestly. Depends. Oh, they're going to get Soapy. That's huge. Oh, look at them. They're just going to 3-man the last pop mode's caught out. They never even expected it. The pop mode. Okay, they're going to get him. But they're just on last, and the gun was in lobby. That's huge. They're going to be down 2. And they're going to have everyone. This is going to be a 6v4 or 6v5 push with no engineer.
Yep, gotta really stuff this door because if it ends up 6v5, or at least make it really long so you get your respawners in time. Bot mode's up in 3 seconds. Bomb comes in from one of the soldiers to buy a lot of space. That's Artist taking a lot of damage. Sobi counter initiates in, but Ash, he's deep. He's able to find the little guy, so Medic eliminated. No heals from the side of the blue team. Is Habib, oh my god, the pipes onto the scout.
Jay?
He's taking a bit of damage.
Jay's
Bomb
just
trying
on
to
the
steal the
point.
kill, and he is able to get it, but Jay,
Jay.
so much cap time. Just Logan left alive up against Bransham, who just needs to get healed up against a really weak Demo Man, and they are able to get the cap with 4 seconds left on the round timer, so you will see no mid-fight reset here. It's just a mid-fight from a brand new round, as 20cc brings the scoreline 3-2 in G6's favor.
I think G6 are perfectly okay with turtling that and getting into overtime, but that is the danger, though, is that if you sit on last there, bot mode moved up his gun, you can only wonder what happens if he did move up that gun. He thought for sure he was going to catch someone up, but it turns out it was he who was caught up. And settling into this mid, just to reiterate the overtime rules, if G6 win a round, they win this map. 20cc, they gotta get 2. It's win limit 4.
20cc is very weak to Beeb. Oh my god, he's just gonna die almost.
They get bot mode, though. They actually get a pick. Although, I don't know, not for long. Howard's very hurt. They do manage to clean him up. They get 3 kills. Look at the G6, or the 20cc scouts are so hurt, though.
They gave up a lot for it, though.
Habib
It's actually crazy.
Wait.
They did so much damage towards one of the soldiers, I don't remember which one, as well as Habib, that it makes sense how they full sent it down to the valley, but because they were so hurt, they went into such a passive position on the side of 20cc so quickly that it made it so much more difficult for you to actually chase those players you've hurt. It ended up being an overextension from so many of the initiators. You saw Jay immediately melted that scout that ran forward. The soldier that bombed in, yeah, they got Howard, but that's all he really got. Couldn't get in second rocket to make anyone else weak, so it kind of makes sense, especially because you left your combo to dry, so you got Howard, sure, but you overall lost the mid, and great job from 20cc in the heat of the moment, recognizing that mid was going poorly and making the very quick adjustments to end up on top.
Most definitely, and we do see 20cc. They do have one pick to work with. Kobe is up now, but he's still not in the fight. But you see a lot of
alley.
Yeah,
the
alley
hallway.
play. There's a lot of players behind it. Branson gonna get spawned in the back. There's just people everywhere. What's happening?
G6, they tried to go for a play into the hallway, but it only really got them ashes. Oh, the stickies doesn't quite hit him.
He might be the one who's caught out.
Stand still, get the arrow, but the arrow doesn't come through quick enough.
Just
but
Lol
it's just Lol Guy. That's another round. That is the quickest Metalworks round we've seen so far.
That's the quickest Metalworks round we've seen in a while. Habib is spelling it, beating in chat 1 letter at a time.
Quickly, you gotta make sure you're able to roll out to another mid-fight, as this is going to be probably the last mid-fight unless we see a round reset, which I wouldn't count it out. It's Metalworks. You never know. We saw 4 seconds left with that other round that went through, and it was the last stalemate. But this could be for all the marbles 20cc. They had some quick thinking last time, but G6, they've been known to adapt as time goes on. I think that was
actual lag. I saw the connection thing. Lag. That was actual server lag. So don't know what happened there, but regardless, Logan gonna get very aggressive. Actually gonna go for a very quick bomb, and Logan's gonna die immediately.
Bomb coming in on a Lol Guy. Both soldiers not doing too much damage though.
Oh my god, this is a nuke for 20cc.
He's in the corner. Bot mode, last one left alive. Pistol onto Habib. We'll get that frag. 3 for bot mode this mid. It's all the dead people on the side of 20cc, but all in his lonesome. Not enough in the tank for him to take on these 3 that are capping right now. So 20cc, give up a bit, but definitely hold on to what's most important, including their medic, including the mid, and they're actually poking out onto 2. Might be a bit tricky. Gotta be careful about sniper sightings and the like, but it doesn't seem like G6 are actually going for any of that right now. Just sitting on last, got the engineer. No other off classes yet so far, but free second. Uberad, 80% dwindling though, but they're getting ready to pick a door, got their players buffed up. Beeb's on the way, and about time to get ready for another last push. The question is, will be the one that ends the match.
Yeah, Soapy is in a Batman spot. He might not be in the Batman spot, but he is in a spot. Cap's building up his sentry, and they gotta have a pretty iron defense here, still only 40%, so not that much for G6. They're just all in spawn. They do have bot mode on Buddhist, but they have no one to block the point. Just Kobe finally gonna block the point, but at what cost? There's deaths everywhere. Artist on the point, and that's gonna be the map. 20cc take the enemy map pick, and it's 1-1 for the maps. 20cc, G6 all tied up.
It was disastrous for the side of G6. Artist bombed the spot that Soapy was in and hit him as he was trying to leave it and escape. So Soapy was unable to block Brand Slam that quickly, and they got so much cap time. Everyone had to get so aggressive onto the point, it just ended up walking into a meat grinder, and that's going to be the map. Yeah, you're right. They won the opponent's map pick. So great job for the side of 20cc. They really turned things around. It's even though it's a slightly different roster with the player change, it's still night and day compared to like the 5-1 that we saw yesterday. So they really made sure that, we talked about it before, G6, they didn't really get to have a whole lot of their weaknesses kind of exploited on this map. So, I mean, they definitely had it this time around, but that's going to be all in the past as we now move on to Sunshine, which was 20ZC's pick, and now G6 are going to have to hold on for dear life and prove that even though they lost their map pick, they can do the same thing that 20ZC did and win against the opponents.
How does Marmalou keep doing it? He got another correct score guess. He just keeps doing it. Phelps as well.
Built different.
Marmalou is literally, he just sees into the future. I guess if you want to know the results, go to Marmalou in advance because he will know the correct score. But looking at the logs here, Jay went 30-8 and Grand Slam went 24-9.
Well, I guess that answers our question on how much Jay is going to have when it comes to impact on Metalworks. Even though it can be difficult for a scout, but I mean, when it's Jay, the world's your oyster. We keep saying it, and it's true.
It is true indeed. As I'm looking, it's actually funny. So Kobe and Logan actually did top damage. Then it's like pretty much the entirety of 20ZC, and then it's like Caps and the flank of G6. So it looks like some players on G6 were having a great time at feasting, but Bot Mode and Soapy Meister on the flank having a bit more rough time, at least in terms of DPM. But DPM doesn't mean anything. Also, both medics only dying 4 times, having pretty much the exact stat line except Howard and more assists.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of moments where there's a lot of stalemates, but it seems like many of the times that you saw a team finally winning or losing, it didn't really involve the medics because they were playing so safe. It involved trying to get picks on a lot of other classes. So, it definitely makes sense in that regard if you think that, oh, they lost this point not because of killing the medic. Maybe they got the force in that regard. But if it was kills in particular, it was kills on, like, the flanks that we saw where teams would, like, rush into the hallway and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the logs, it was a close game, so you expect the logs to be close, but just Jay and Brand Slam are just unstoppable, apparently. Those are very good stat lines, especially for Metalworks Scout. Metalworks, every map is a scout map if the scouts play, to their full potential, but, Metalworks definitely not one of those. Metalworks is much more happy. I've seen a lot more happy soldiers and, maybe sometimes demos, but I consider Metalworks more of a soldier map than anything.
And you know what is a scout map?
Sunshine.
Sunshine, which is what we are going on to next. But before we get on to it, as we, go on and transition to the next map, the players are probably taking a sec to make sure they can talk about what needs to change and how they're going to go over this map. And we probably need to take a small break as well, make sure we got everything underway for this next map upcoming. So we're going to take a quick 2-minute break. You can go ahead and throw some preds out since you know what the map is going to be, but we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a moment. Welcome back after that brief intermission. We're moving on to Sunshine, which was 20ZC's pick. We've had the predictions roll through for a bit for you guys, but any thoughts about what's going to be happening in this matchup? We just saw a good indication of what the teams are bringing to the table on Metalworks, but Sunshine can be a whole different beast, and I'm kind of curious on what's going to be happening, as it's going to be a different dynamic in the way the classes operate and really find room to, do what their job is, really. So I think you're going to go to 5. I think we're going to see a swap of another team winning a map pick that isn't theirs. What are your thoughts?
I don't know how I'm not sure how the pace of the map is going to go, but this is 20C's map pick, but I feel like we've seen a lot of picks this game. This playoffs in general just go the wrong way. Teams pick maps, but then are in for a bit of a surprise, and I don't know how the teams are gonna play out on this map. We have seen a fair amount of sunshine between both of these teams this season, so familiar territory for everyone. I don't think there's gonna be anything too surprising going into it. But how do you think the pace of the game is going to be? You think this is going to be a slower paced one? You say I saw a fair, even though it was a 4-3, we did see a fair amount of slow paced gameplay. Really only picked up like in terms of steamrolls towards the end.
I'm thinking about the only other example we have of sunshine. Like it was in round one, it was a Tech versus 20cc game, right? I think 20cc won that 4-2. It was like the first game we watched. But I'm not really sure how you compare that to G6 because it's going to be a different playstyle, different trials and tribulations to kind of work through. I don't, even though it's their pick, I don't know if it's going to be very dominant. I mean, maybe it could be. Maybe G6 isn't really like very fond of sunshine.
Maybe, or maybe they just maybe it's one of those maps that's kind of even for both teams, and 20cc just feel like they're a little bit better at it, or at least they feel very comfortable on it. Because you said in the past, 20cc, as far as we can tell, and from what they're saying, they just kind of rip out the map picks at the time. They I don't know if they're like, obviously they're putting a lot of thought into it. It is grand finals, but I would have put it past them just like, yeah, let's play Sunshine. That sounds fun.
I think
Well,
for my prediction, I'm gonna lean towards the same like 20cc play it for a reason. Or wait, was this a G6 pick?
this
Am I
was
like
a 20cc pick.
okay? Yeah, I think mm, I'll say that it won't go to 5. I think the skill of these teams is close enough.
I think we're gonna see a lot of leapfrogs. I think we're gonna see back
Yeah,
and forth a lot.
I'll. Jay's been on fire all night. I don't think it'll really stop if you see what he does on Metalworks. I don't want to curse him, but there's no reason why it
I think
couldn't
you just
ever
did.
happen on Sunshine. So I will say a 4-2 in 20cc's favor.
I also feel like this is another one of those mids where you could have disaster mids, but Habib seemed more so than we've seen. He seemed a little more than he has on other maps. I feel like Habib's shown to be a lot more dominant on the other maps. So if I'm a G6, I might be a little worried on that. That I think Metalworks might have been one of their better chances, and they did not end up winning it on their pick. But we have seen, I said it before, we have seen a lot of picks go the wrong way.
We've also talked about the one map that G6 has said that like it doesn't fit the way they want to play is Metalworks because they want to snowball. They want to avoid stalemates if they can help it. I mean, sometimes you can't. Sometimes that's just the way of the road, and that's how things land and turn out. But if you can try to use a small advantage and snowball it, you're going to definitely go for it. So if they're actually able to do that, then maybe they'll have some more wiggle room.
That's true. I think this is another map. Disaster mids. I think we're gonna see like a 3-1 in favor of 20ZC. I think they're gonna bring it. I think this playoff series might go the distance. G6, I think, are gonna get a map or two in there somewhere. I think they might win the whole thing. I don't know if it's this map.
You think we're playing all the maps? All four of them?
I think we could be, because G6 only need to win like what? They need to win 1 or 2, right?
They both need to win 2 out of the remaining 3 maps.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because, okay, we're all even then. So, going into our first mid here, this is map 2. Both teams have taken a map 1-1. And Habib and Logan are just going to be stabbing each other. We actually see an immediate double bomb from Sophie and everyone. And Habib is going to be an instant death. Kobe going to fall. Artist going to fall. The aggression from G6 really paying off there as that's a first mid win.
Yep, he had to surf Silverback to make sure that Howard lived. There wasn't a whole lot of sustain, and just the one extra frag, being able to not only sacrifice Artist, but get the kill on Habib is huge. And G6, we're talking about snowballing just now, and they're trying to do it just a single frag to try to bring their entire team through. Uber's not in equation yet. Ash at 9 HP. Howard is at 10. He has to once again go back for HP and not be able to get beamed. Ash is going to fall for the sticky. There's a single sticky on the shutters. Howard goes back to his team. He will indeed die as Habib, the last man left standing. The respawner from the death at mid, and he just dies in lobby alone. What's happening? Kobe
This might be the fastest round we've seen. This might be one of the fastest. That was an instant mid to last snowball. That was, oh goodness. I think we might be wrong on our predictions, at least for that first mid. 20ZC new round. You know, you gotta put that one. Never happened.
Yeah, G6 in their element right now, but it's only the beginning. Gotta keep the ball rolling if you want to stay in charge. Both teams one on the mid will sing what they bring to the table. I cross my fingers we don't see them trading sides or anything like that death ball, but hey, if it works, it works. So we'll see what they decide to go with. It's only been one mid so far, but that's a way to win a mid.
Look where Logan's sticky is. It's in Valley.
That wasn't even from a. I don't think that was really even from a fast soldier bomb. That was
no,
just
that was just
long-range
damage.
stickies. Yeah.
They were both 70 HP at the start, and I'm like, oh, they're a little hurt. And I think Logan just missed his bow, or someone ate it, and that was just it for Logan. Logan just gets 2 types of stickies. Logan also saying, how did that do so much? I'm confused. So, going into that, you have Ash going in for a bomb, and they actually get Soapy, and they get bomb mode. The flank has just been nuked by Soapy and Jay.
They Goomba stomped Soapy's head so he couldn't counter jump away, and then bot mode got free-fired, stalled as he tried to hop to the white ramp. So that's some really bad luck from the side of G6.
Wait, Kobe just got launched in. Oh, he gets the air shot though.
Making
and
room.
Jay's gonna
Ash
follow
is
a trap.
in.
Ash is in. Can't clean up. That's a 3-man. Didn't get much. They did get 2, so that is something. But Habib gotta be a little careful. He can't get too caught out here. But he also might have to put up sticky traps at some point, and those are some late 20ZC deaths.
Yeah, they're trying to poke and prod. They have a player advantage here on G6. They have to clear the stick, so it's gonna take a sec. But 20ZC are still here. They're still trying to hold on to the platform. They have the Uber rolling out. They know that they have respawners in their favor, but they actually go for the Uber. Finding Logan caught out. Damage on the low guy, barely living, is able to finally use that 11 HP. Trying to chase the better Uber, 50% and counting, but don't want to actually rush through the shutter. Don't want to post without a dome in. Getting the defense up on last. They know there's incentive for 20ZC to begin to peek and prod, and they're beginning. They're trying to go through. The heavy on the field. Soldiers, both of them make
Oh,
space,
they're sending it. They're full sending on the Buddhist.
It just disintegrates in front of them. Captop chained by 20ZC. They don't have any mobility to get to it. No soldiers available that can actually jump onto it. And the tied rounds are going to be in favor of 20ZC as 1-1 going on to another mid. Still got a game on our hands.
Have we seen sentries on last yet? I feel like that might be part of what's happening.
I mean, that was way too quick. They tried to push out into 2 and
that's like they had a heavy, but the heavy can only deny one player, and he got like triple bombed or something. Like the heavy just got instantly nuked. And Soapy's actually gonna go fast onto Habib. He's gonna back up there, so Habib's gonna be a little safer now, but he's in the corner hurt, whereas Logan is pretty healthy. Both teams are actually gonna compete even. Actually, Artist is gonna bomb in behind. He's not gonna get too much. They actually are gonna get Logan though, but they're gonna trade 2 for 2. I'll have to see who actually wins this. Kobe's on the high ground though, and he gets Habib and Howard just shooting downward to Rex.
The corner of death. They found themselves in on an accident, just trying to walk over to their valley that ends up dying over by the valley. As Hail Mary play from the side of Ash will not really find too much, as they gave up a couple. Logan died pretty quickly, was definitely the target of the bomb, but overall, the counter initiation from the soldiers, particularly coming from Kobe, definitely was the nail in the coffin for that mid-fight from 20ZC. Is G6 in an ample position. They have the ad building up, working in their favor, got the cap going their way. Everyone respawning in is
he has it on the stairs. It's on the stairs.
I remember that was the spot where the heavy sat yesterday. High Five sat there on heavy yesterday, and then when they went to kill him,
but they don't have High Five on heavy. They don't have the final boss. They actually have a Jay on Pyro though, and he's not going to be on the right door though. He might have to back up. Actually,
they're just milking through lower.
They're milking
haven't
through
even
lower.
used Logan's weak though. Finally use it onto the Pyro, getting him weak. No beam, so Jay will. Oh, the
Jay can just air blast people off the point.
They lose Ash though. Artist weak in the corner, will die. They didn't get the power, but they got both the soldiers, so unable to really block the point efficiently. Trying to blast back, so he will indeed get that damage on him, but Jay will fall. Got the kill in the bottom mode. The engineer is dead. Brain slam and gun dying, and I mean, air blast for what they could, but G6 milked that in so far. There was no spam in the lower. They got in too deep, too quickly, and 20ZC got to reevaluate that last one. G6 collecting another round of making the game 2-1.
Has this been 3 mid to last? This has been a bloodbath. I think it has.
Something like that.
I think it's been like basically mid to last. This map, these mids. If you're losing mid, you're in for a sad time so far. Habib's gonna be pretty hurt early on. Gonna have to eat a bow at some point. He is gonna end up getting a little bit healthy.
Oh, Soapy.
Oh, Soapy. He's in. Oh, yep, there he is. Artist also gonna bomb behind in Valley. They're actually gonna chase him behind pretty far, but the positioning is all lost. And Ash is in on low guy. Can he get the kill? If not, this might be an opportunity to get back in. Ash actually almost escaped. Bot mode is gonna be another kill, but. ZC gonna take mid, and Logan, he looked like he wanted to fight for a bit, but gonna back up, and we actually might see a proper second stalemate.
Yeah, neither of the initiations from either team actually really amounted to the targets they were shooting for, but the fact that G6 was hurt enough, and I mean, 20CC was deep enough that they had to vacate the area entirety, so I mean, 20CC just have the player advantage when it turns into a 4v4. Got the cap up. G6 know they can't really stop it.
And
so
Jay's on Sniper.
Just gotta cut through losses. And is he on Sniper? He is indeed on Sniper.
I am terrified. I'm terrified. It begins. Well, Jay Sniper, we've seen him do some horrific things to the enemy teams. We haven't seen him on Sunshine yet, but you know, I am not worried for Jay. He's actually electing to go Cafe. This is the sneaky angle. They can see you coming for pretty much everywhere else, but they're not going to know he's here. Oh, I think Kobe spotted him. He is shooting the wall. They know. So now at least if they peek, at least they know Jay's on sniper.
Yeah. Now it's probably going to be Valley that's the play, right? I mean, he's choked right now, but usually I don't think that, yeah, frags aren't going to really come that way. There's technically a sliver if you get really deep, but you're not going to get allowed to be that deep. So, yep, here comes Valley. The question is now for G6 is how deep do you allow Jay to go in before you try to answer or create your own solution to this problem on your hands? And how do you execute it in a way that doesn't accidentally lead to that initiation just turning into feeding? Jay's actually pretty deep, trying to, spam out a bit, but no one's actually committing into the Valley. Don't want to accidentally die, as that's a huge commitment. Would definitely die if you're not too careful. Is just biding their time. Jay rotates over towards the choke side, see if he can get a single shot. Gets that one shot, but does not quite hit the mark. As Soldier's on the move, taking some space, but no frags in either direction.
The thing with the J Sniper and Valley too is that they set so many players, both teams on that side of the map, that they got to be careful about Cafe and Choke. If they're not too careful, it's so much easier if they're willing to risk a soldier as well as Jay. They just go send that soldier to go die, and it's a lot easier to get the force if everybody's having to worry about the door that the sniper's in. So definitely a very strong possibility of something that can happen. Jay trying to go Cafe, trying to see something that's going on, but Cafe, the angle's there are angles, but it's a really tight angle. You gotta hit something good.
Yep, might be here for a bit. Doesn't seem like this is one of the better points to snipe on in comparison to a lot of other maps.
It's deceptively hard actually, because Valley's the only good one, and oh, there goes Caps. Actually, as we speak, they're gonna be able to get an opening pick. But yeah, this point's deceptively hard. The angles look good, but the problem is you have to get very deep to actually see anything.
And that's exactly what Sniper doesn't want to do. You don't want to get too deep. That you're trying to just play the angles.
Soapy though, Soapy's gonna fall. That's 2 down. No losses. That's 3 down.
The fall damage. Almost weak. Trying to chase him down.
Oh my god, they actually got Logan. They saved bot mode, but at the cost of Logan dying for bot mode sins, as they're gonna be on last, but they're still down 3, and Jay is still on sniper.
Oh, they want to take maybe surprise Uber? No, they're leaving.
Oh, they actually got Jay.
He's just dying to spam. Eventually has to force, but we're trying to chase down Howard, some damage on him. Eventually going to turn into an Uber change.
So much better.
Oh, they're maybe finding Ash in lobby actually. Oh, onto the
Wait, the cleanup from bot mode.
They just totally forgot he was there. Their flank, their soldiers initiating for this post are going to be unavailable as a bomb. Oh, nice pipe coming from Habib.
Habib?
Taking down Kobe.
Habib is just in. They got someone's got to deal with Habib.
Howard's. Oh, he's a bit weak. Still has a scout on him. Branson, got to hit more shots. You want to keep your medic alive. The pack is not there in time. Not able to get it. Howard will indeed die as Branson looping around, still alive for now. No one's gonna initiate in from lobby as that was disastrous for G6 on 2, and then disastrous for 20cc at trying to work their way through the lobby. They just keep
sending players to last. Branson is just running around. Oh my god, he juked them so hard. That's
insane. We'll finally die, but
he will finally die, but that lasted way too long. That should not have lasted that long. But G6 gonna be pushing into second here. Doing some good damage on the platform actually, so gonna buy his team a bit of room to maybe go spam get it first. They're actually gonna bomb onto Logan and get Logan. That's a great opening pick to see if they can go in. They're all looking backwards at this soldier. They're gonna lose 2 for it. They still don't have Uber, but they gotta be careful. There's an 8 health player and an 18 health player.
And Habib, one of the later deaths here, and it's gonna be no stickies on mid, so G6, they only have to worry about a hiding scout in the corner that's whatever thwart this mid cap from going the direction, and we'll find no such thing. So Uber retained. Maybe could be used. I think they're trying to stack to make sure that even if the ad is small, that Habib will 100% not be there on 2, and that's definitely something they can work with. Is they see him up, they know he is at last arriving to his team, so no stickies on any of these doors at all. Makes it much easier to try to initiate in, even though it is now even. Might have a bit easier time facilitating a bomb plus people walking in and taking some extra space.
Yeah, Habib here now.
He's here now, though.
Yeah, Logan here as well, so just going to settle into a stalemate. G6 in the lead 2-1, again, on the enemy's map pick. So far I've seen a lot of map pick trades, which is, I don't know, just been the trend recently. This bot mode is hiding kind of in the corner, but not really. Nope, just spotting things out, checking stickies. Gonna back up is G6 electing to really take their time with this and figure out how they actually want to sack in.
Yep, got a lot of time to work with here. No off class, so working towards Cafe, maybe trying to kill like Artist, going for a pack or something.
Logan actually a bunch of damage just from a Habib trap on the stairs, and Soapy got him pretty deep as well. Kobe gonna back up, so I think they got scared off because Logan got hurt. He couldn't really watch choke, and that's the sack. Great job. 0 deaths, nothing happened. Go next, I guess.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. They're now electing to go actually Logan. Okay, Logan's gonna get a full buff avoid any health disasters like last time. Beam has an anti-soldier trap up in Valley, but not too much going on otherwise. Kobe might be the one to sack as he is getting very aggressive in Cafe along with bot mode. That might send the flank to rush through there as players have to look at Valley. And actually, it appears that...
their health pool. Bomb from Sophie, on to Howard. No rockets hit. Maybe one other scout. No dice.
Oh, an Artist is gonna go fast. He gets Logan! Oh, if he lives.
Logan
he didn't live, but that's all you need. Just the spoon onto Logan. The funny weapon makes its return, and that's not ideal losing your demo there. And they're just through the choke and they lose Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe did so much damage, but he gave up his life for it. They gotta get these kills in choke. They able to find Jay. Can they find him? Even the pistol is there. The Uber comes out, but blue team, they barely have anyone alive here at mid.
Caps
they have
needs
some
to live,
respawns
and
coming
he
in.
is.
Caps needs to buy time, and he is. They just looped around in the entirety of the map. And the Uber finally comes out. How many kills can they get? They're just trying to get the scout over in Valley. Will indeed kill bot mode. Soldier bombing in, taking the tower. Lolguy surfing backwards, taking some fall damage, and separated from his team. These players are not beamed right now in mid.
Lolguy can't
working his way back
anyone.
to choke, and they're just bombing in. Logan, really weak, needs an arrow if he wants to continue to fight, but Ash is in on Lolguy now. Serving away, 14 HP, will eventually get the arrow to kill Ash and survive, but they've given up so much. G6 on their last lives here for this fight over the mid cap will eventually have to give it up as 20ZC. That was a very scrappy fight, but they come out victorious.
Yeah, both medics had to play so carefully there. Lolguy couldn't get in to heal his team, which made it so much tougher, but a nice bomb at the end from G6 managed to buy just enough time, but 20CC actually, looks like they want to dry. They know people aren't ready, people were in a position, and they just get second for free, even Ubers, but G6 just weren't ready off of the kills from mid.
Yep, just had a positional advantage that they used. 20CC go ahead and take this, and I mean, at least it's even for the side of G6. You know, get the gun up, get an iron hold last, and hold however you want to. Kind of curious how they're going to set this up, but we get to see how 20CC begin to try to break the hold. The first is going to definitely be spotting. You got to know what you're up against, which side the medic is sitting on, where are the stickies, if there's even a gun, and if so, where is it? And you can see Logan's over on the left-hand side of the map from the defender's perspective. To kind of poke and prod in that direction. I kind of, in a way, expected to try to work over towards the barrel side, but they got to get the information first. Got some peeking from pretty much all the doors at once, so it's a bit difficult to kind of thwart this. So the information will be gained nonetheless as Caps on Pyro, able to air blast and at least be annoying with the scorch shot as they're actually challenging Logan to a small degree. Not really too much damage on him, but they're keeping control over this area, so no one can really go through it. Pistol from Brand Slam trying to harass one of these soldiers.
Caps is spy checking.
Yeah, the paranoia setting in. 20ZC is not actually doing anything, so they're like, do they have a spy? Is that why they're so slow? But finally, Ash pulling the trigger
into
in their spawn, but into a pyro. There is going to be a soldier trade elsewhere on the map, but Caps will indeed find the kill in the Ash. So overall, 2-for-1 trade, no soldiers available for the side of 20ZC as G6. They have like a small incentive to push up with you already lost your roamer. What else are you going to give up?
Yeah. Anything else would be maybe a little too over-aggressive as settling into this last, and actually they sent, they're going to send Brand Slam on Sniper or a Spy, we'll see. Looks like Sniper, Brand Slam's in spawn, wait. Brand Slam he went to spawn and then did not go, okay. Is he on a funny weapon? It's someone has to be on a funny weapon. They just sent like 3 players back to forwards.
Time to check.
I don't see any.
I don't think so.
Oh, man treads. I see man treads.
Oh, there you go.
It's on Artist. Artist is on the man treads. That's it. Because there is a gun and a pyro, but that okay. Wait, I'm glad I identified it before it happened this time.
Yeah. So if this bomb ends up being sick, you know why. But he's gonna chew up his health a bit. But the sacrifice you have to make sometime. Gotta get him full health, and we'll see which way he skips through.
Caps is still spy checking.
Trap, I would imagine. He's gonna be at the bottom of the stairs and then skip through the door and try to beat Logan's debt timing. Maybe.
Probably. I don't know. Ash looks like it's actually Ash at the other door. So Artist wants to be 300 HP because these.
Oh, through lower.
These
straight
rockets.
on the medic. He gets close to Lolguy, but
oh, it didn't do any. 0 damage, but the intent was nice. So you did figure out what the theory was, but it didn't work. And actually, Ash can be a late death. Almost killed Soapy. Soapy getting it cleaned up though. That is the thing. Artist saying these boots are nice in chat. So maybe a little bit of sarcasm there, since he did do these damage on the bombs. But he actually at least got into last, which was probably better than the gunboats.
Yeah, the gun didn't do as much to him. So there's
now,
that.
Now
he
they're
just kind of missed.
Sniper.
Oh, yeah, he's on Sniper. Okay, so we'll see how they begin to work these angles. Now Jace is going to have to be a bit more active. They do have the Pyro, so they do have the Cap secondary to kind of set them on fire and make it really hard. For,
it's very tactical knowing that Caps is on Pyro and on the Scorch Shot. Which is,
yeah, but you
both of those weapons are banned in Highlander.
But you can't let Brand Slam take shots forever. Like now the question is for G6, what is your path to getting him out of the equation? And you're immediately down a soldier. It could have been the answer to that. Less spam. I mean, oh, he's on the Darwin's danger shield, so the fire's not really going to do too much. Meaning that other classes on fire, but it's not going to affect his aim. It begin to actually slow peak. And oh, so he might be in a bad spot. Gotta defend.
They gotta
it,
get this gun down though. They're gonna trade artist for the gun, so even kills. But I do see some fire players on fire. Actually, Habib actually might be quite. He gets a bow. He gets saved. Now Sophie might be the one who's spot. Actually, they're gonna.
Kobe's
get
in,
him back up.
Kobe
in goes for a play. There's so many hurt players on 20cc, but unable to actually get the kills, and that's basically an opening pick. And they still have Ransom on sniper, and it's a soldier again. So Kobe, that again means that Ransom gonna have a little bit easier time peeking this angle. But there seems to be a lot of. There's literally no one on one side of the map other than Ash. Ash might go in. I think Ash might be the kind. Ash is gonna get the gun. Actually, wait, no. Bot mode's on the duty.
Yeah. You always gotta figure out which side of the map the gun is on, because you can really only watch one side if you put it on the point like this and not centralized. And it's definitely not able to watch the barrel side.
I think they want Habib to. Oh, Bot mode's actually moving the gun to the other side. Habib goes to spam it, doesn't see a gun. Oh, Habib's sacking.
Oh, he sacked. It's a double sack, but Lol guy's in lower. They don't know where he is. Sophie's following, and they're literally in dungeon. Artist is going. I think he's realized they're there, but they've given up so much. And that, what a great play from the side of G6.
Only 20 seconds left.
They literally ran towards dungeon to make sure there's no way they could ever find Lol guy in any universe.
Yeah, so that's gonna successful last hold. You know, the desperation 4-man doesn't end up working, and yeah, that's 4 for the gun. Not a good trade, personally, guess me. Not a. If I was a trade, I would ask for a little more.
Yep, back to mid. Still stalemate, both teams retaining their Uber after that 4-man ended up failing. As 20C still in the driver's seat, but maybe this is a blessing in disguise. This is a very different stalemate, no off classes to work through, and one of the mids, or not one of the mids, one of the fights we saw involved a second hold go awry that just turned into a wipe, into a very, very quick round capture where there was no defense set up on last at all. Maybe that's a ticket to actually taking a round against two teams that are so close in skill level. So this could be what you need, is why teams are willing to do 4-mans to a point in first place on certain maps.
Most definitely, you know. It's funny because this game at first was a bloodbath, which is not a mid to last, and now, not so much as we do see Ash going in. He's going to do a fair amount of damage, but going to get healed up very quickly, nothing going on there. But they actually get Branson, and they're going to get a Habib. They had no idea there's going to be the aggression. And they actually, okay, there's a little bit of beat there from Jay, but he's going to get traded out. That's a 4 for basically nothing. Howard's in choke. He's actually going to have to use, and this Uber is basically wasted. And
they've overstayed their welcome for sure, and are going to pay the price. Uber expended for the side of 20C. They will at least get 2 respawners. That is going to be it. Branson respawning on Spy. Not slotted by G6 quite yet. Got to be careful. Cloak up. Find a way to get through and be effective. G6, they're rolling straight through. Got to make sure you're effective here as the 20ZC soldiers, but not going to go ahead and go for the fight. Not defending. Branson not in a position to go for a decloak or a stab or anything quite yet, and I don't think they know of his presence. The paranoia hasn't quite sit in yet because they have ad. They're on the move. They want to get ready to push into last. So we'll see how effective Branson is when G6 are widening the gap every single time. He's got to go quick. Get ready for the stab. Uber might come through. He gets a scout. He settles for it. Will eventually be a trade, but the Uber comes out. Immediately getting the gun. Corner capping? No. Going straight for it.
There's no only one scout.
A lot of damage on him. Will indeed get the kill. So no sneak is on top of the point. As Bard is getting cleaned up on the claws. Both Ash bombing in. Heavy out in front of the J, but Logan is going to be able to take him out. And 20ZC, their defense is not enough. The Spy 1-for-1 trade isn't enough. They go and find Habib very quickly. Great plays from G6 to make it a 3-1 game.
Yeah, I like the attempt, and he did technically trade out, so it's not the end of the universe, but definitely not the saving grace there is. The soldiers died quick, even the soldier died quickly, and that's kind of it for the defense there. And going to new mid, 20cc down two rounds on their own map pick, but we still got some time left before we get infinite overtime in. Settling into new mid, and both demos are actually going very aggressively on the enemy touchers. Actually, Ash one is going to go pretty early. Going to try to spam Habib, but unable to get really too much, and yeah, both teams are just settling on spin. Actually, no, they're going in deep. They get Habib instantly.
Immediately dead. They've expended a bit, bot mode's died, but they're getting way more in return. It's just Howard and Ash left alive, and Howard all on his own, so definitely will have to kill bind here. He he sees Lol guy, that's what he thought. And maybe he can get an arrow. Didn't kill bind him. Will eventually do it, as they actually had so much better initial spam. I think Logan slightly won the initial demo v demo fight, and I don't
Ash
think
also
Habib got arrowed.
Ash kind of fast bombed, just ended up taking damage and not doing that much to Logan. So they set 2 at 1, and the 1 didn't take that much damage. So in the end, that is going to be huge Uber ad for the side of G6, and that's a good opening pick if you 20cc.
Guys, I found the sniper. They send shutter.
Yeah, found him. He's still on sniper.
That might be a thorn on their side. They'll certainly switch off when this Uber goes through, but they have the respawn. Kobe's on
about to
spy.
use-
Kobe does not believe in his team. He thinks his team's going to screw up this Uber.
Maybe he wants to stab the sniper, get his revenge.
Got some cap time. Actually, there's so much cap time. Maybe Kobe's mistrust was misguided as actually they're going forward.
Habib actually going to fall Jay. They have
given up
Brandslam
some.
on Brutus on the point. Is Jay and Brandslam. Jay going to run into 2 scouts and just get mulched though. Just Howard and he almost got the backstab. That would have been so funny.
It was all, look, he's taunting on the point. It was all him.
Yeah, that was definitely all Kobe. All Kobe, definitely no one else played any part of that. Single hand clutch carry, and that's a 4-1. So both map picks going the wrong way so far. Well, ECC, they got a bit of a hill to climb. And we are in officially... Are we in overtime yet?
No, we're still 8 minutes left. This
yeah, we're 8
gonna
minutes left.
potentially
Okay.
reach 5.
That's good. It actually could reach 5. So those mid to lasts do end up snowballing over time.
Yeah. Both demos a bit weak. Arrow misses, so Habib will have to get healed up normally. 3 buffs on the scouts won't quite hit the mark, so blue team's gonna have a slightly better health advantage, but it doesn't seem like they're gonna be that aggressive. Logan taking some directs, but is A-okay as no one really initiating, just sitting where they want to try to get the best spam they can, and no one's really getting in the red health though, and Jay is a tad weak, but that's about it, and even then he's getting concurrently healed. Bombo could be the same said, but Habib, a bit weak. Same with Ash. Now the health advantage is going grand in G6's favor. They pulled the trigger. Going forward, they've given up some, but gotten some in return. 4v4. They're over by the touch there, but they don't want to be stuck in the corner. That is a bad spot, and people have been bit the bullet and died there plenty of times before. Nice arrow onto Kobe from the side of wall. Gotta make sure he can own the tower presence as Ash, spawn round, wants an arrow, eats it, but gets shot on and shot down by Kobe, who's going to get back a health pack for himself as cap time in favor of G6. They recognize that this is going on long, and if they can play the cap, it will bring 20cc forward, maybe in an awkward position they didn't want to go for it.
Ash doesn't have a rocket to jump out. Oh, he just barely manages to get out. This is going to be mid-fight part 2. Habib's showing up, and so are more players. The reinforcements are coming. Artist's going to fall. Kobe going to fall. Ash is full health, and Habib is here ready to get bowed, and still mid-fight.
Yep, trying to lock things down. Now the cap time is going in 20ZC's favor as they've blasted him back, but bomb mode on top of the tower. They don't have an answer for him quite yet. Able to take down Ash. Him and Caps work together to take down Brandslam, and the one move from bomb mode taking the tower at the opportune time. They might be able to run forward and kill Habib. They've done so much damage to him, and even though they don't get the kill, they've gotten so much room. They've blasted him back and are now able to walk through the choke of freaks. That's not even a contest really over on the platform. They're getting to it about the same time, and it's not even locked down by either teams as Logan takes the charge, runs forward, is pushed back some, but the Uber is available if they need to use it. It'll be expanded by the red team first. Uber change going out, blue team responding in kind as Soapy's given up some HP, but is able to go ahead and go and find health pack over on all the way at mid actually. It doesn't seem like they are going to post this at all. Playing it safe, don't want to do a super aggressive fight as that was a very long mid fight. G6, it almost looked like they were going to snowball super hard and try to take 2, but they cut their losses, don't want to go anything too difficult, and will settle for the mid-fight victory.
I think that was a very well-timed Uber by 20cc. They saw that they got damage, and they didn't want to lose a bunch of health themselves, so they took the Uber exchange, managed to equalize, get everything settled out, and now they can hold second and try to work their way and claw their way back into the scheme. They got all the time in the world, but 4 rounds to win it is a tall order at the least. So definitely, if they can claw their way back, we're going to be in here for a while. But otherwise, on to map 3. We'll have to see how G6 want to actually push this point. Howard still not an Uber, just arriving now, and G6 already have the Uber.
It's going to be a big hill to climb for all the rounds, but it's still technically possible because of the infinite overtime. G6, they're actually not. They're just using... Oh, he's on Beggar, Soapy. Bomb through choke, really fast, got some damage onto Howard, but the Valley distraction is not quite enough, so 20cc now in the driver's seat, on the move, getting closer to the chokes. We'll see what they opt for. Howard probably doesn't need a pack, you can just regen. Gotta be mindful of the stickies, but they're getting closer. It's gonna be Artist or Ash. Ash is over by the alley area. If he can get deep enough, he might end up pulling the trigger and going in. Trying to buy some space, seeing where low guy is, seeing what the target should be is Kobe on top of Cafe. It doesn't really look like 20cc saw anything that looked too easy, so doesn't want to go for it and find create an opening for G6 to have a window that makes the sack even easier. So I'm saying screw it. You can try again, it'll be fine. Maybe we'll have a different opportunity some other time.
Yeah, G6 again. They're up 3 rounds. They don't really care about taking this slowly. They all the time in the world. Soapy is back on the Beggar's Bazooka. He's ready to go in very deep.
He's in. One rocket. Second rocket missed. You can blame the deviation.
You actually can't blame the deviation on that one. Even if it hit, actually, it probably would have killed, or at least maybe a force.
It was close enough. It probably could have killed, but Ash going in. Tried to go behind, just full on into the rally, but found Logai and Caps combined. Logai securing the kill there. So overall, 1 for 1. We'll not really find too much as G6. Maybe a bit of an opening for Kobe to go for a bomb. He's not the roamer, but maybe we'll find an open door with Ash still dead in the grave. Spoken and prodding through Cafe. He will find Artist with a bit of a duel there. But
Oh,
actually going to
Artist.
be not only does Artist die, but bot mode, he took the opportunity to go through.
Soapy's trying to
Alley,
get in.
but
He's
will
actually
die.
going to 1v1 Brand Slam. Brand Slam going to be on top. Soapy almost certainly going to die, and that's 2 for 1. And that might signal a 20cc aggression here as they are going Valley very fast. And I don't think G6 quite realizes what's about to happen.
Yeah, they're barreling through. There's some spam, but it's not quite enough. They've found the floodgates open and are walking through, but they've taken so much damage. Habib, really weak. Same could be said for Ash, and Habib's not going to get an arrow in time. Stood still
They
for it,
get
but never
caps, though.
received it. They got caps. Howard across the map.
Oh, Ash!
Instead of airing the demo, you arrow the scout, and Ash with the huge plays, taking down bot mode. No scouts available for G6 means no Uber exchange despite killing Habib, so 20C just take the dry fight, not expending the Uber, and taking the mid.
Ash single-handedly won that for them. They may have dropped to B, but Ash hitting that air shot meant that G6 had to give that up, and looks like Ash, oh, he thought about going. Actually, he's going to do the fake bomb as they're going in. Habib is very hurt rolling out, and Ash actually gets another kill onto Kobe, so Ash making his presence known in this match, and he is doing so much work for 20ZC right now.
Oh,
as the soldiers are nuking, they get Logan. The soldiers are doing so much work here. The scouts do clean it up and get the kill, but that was all soldiers get there.
Logan did the Sunshine Classic where you play Demo Man and you backpedal into the shutter and you back up into the wall, and that got him killed. He's still dead. They're using the fact that there's no Demo Man stickies here on this doorway to try to walk through.
They
Able
get
to find
caps.
caps, but the double soldier bomb comes in. They're trying to chase Dave, will not find the sex. Maybe over onto Artist.
Oh, he's forced,
does
force.
not want to get Mark Guard, and Wall Guy will respect it and use, and they have enough damage to get this Uber exchange going out. They're chasing him down, finding Sophie. Double scout over towards bot mode, but they're in an awkward position. Gotta be mindful of Kobe, who's on top of the point, able to take down Brand Sam, getting Howard really weak. Bot mode's able to clean up that kill onto Jay, and the pistol coming out. Bomb's coming in from the red soldiers, but it's not quite enough as Howard will barely escape, and I don't even know if he'll fully escape.
He's gonna have to. Oh, okay, Artist
so
is there. Do some more.
Hold on
Artist
for
actually might die too. That's kind of close. As Artist actually, he's gonna die. They're gonna keep chasing. Actually, maybe not. They're gonna back up. Decide, yeah, we'll get that kill. Artist trading his life for his medic. That's fair, but Howard wasn't healing throughout most of that, so this is gonna turn into 30% ad for War Guy, and I think they might be aware of it.
A great place from Kobe holding on to that last. He hit in a or not in a corner, but he hid around and gets another kill too.
Right, Sam just like ran in Valley.
Crazy.
Yeah, looks like there's gonna be some aggression. Habib does have some stickies out on mid, but Sophie is gonna have to back up. He's hurt, but look at all the space they have on mid.
Habib, he's stuck in the corner of Doom. He's gonna die.
Is that it looks like there's a lot of corners of Doom on Sunshine. A lot of funny corners to get stuck in.
That's Habib's corner though. He's always, for some reason, he always finds himself in that corner, and then it's
It
a coin.
never ends well.
Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes he lives with like red HP, but he's always finds himself there. Sometimes he lives, sometimes he dies.
Now I know that's some TF2 lore for you guys. That's the Habib corner. And Ransom is on forwards on Sniper, seeing if he can get any cheeky shots off. But both teams have Uber, they're ready to go. But Habib is just rolling out. He's gonna be hurt because he had to roll out. He can. Yeah, have a lot of players who can't really get in.
Sniper has revealed himself, Ransom in the forwards, and I think that's enough to cut it off for G6. Didn't really find too much extra layer of stuff to deal with. Don't bother. That's been the story so far. You're right. They don't really have to push for anything too difficult. They're not going up, an upward slope. They're winning 4-1 right now, and with only 20 seconds left, it means that it's going to be a classic 5-round win limit. It's going to be set here in just a moment, and when them being in the driver's seat, they're pretty much in an ample opportunity to close out the map. They just, bot mode has to figure out, has to open up Google, RNG, 1, I respawn on Scout, 2, I respawn on Sniper, 3, I respawn on Spy. It looks like Fedema 2 this time.
Yeah, well, he went Spy, and then he decided, I'll just check classes and go Sniper. And bot mode is going to be Sniper. Like I mentioned, it can be a little deceptively difficult to snipe into this point, but the first shot's always the easiest one if they don't know. That I do see red players actively standing still, but they also kind of jiggle peeking. Maybe they know. I'm watching the bot mode Sniper is they're definitely playing like they are aware that their snipers there, considering how much attention they are putting into Valley.
There's so many players in there.
And almost dead.
Bit too close. Ash takes a bit of damage, but it's going to be fine, and Sniper will end up dying. So with Ash not being healthy, it's going to be hard for them to counter-sack. They technically can, but it's going to take a sec. He's in position. Are they going to be able to find an opening?
Branslam's actually in, and they get
They find Kobe.
Immediate kill on Kobe. Branslam's going to be hurt. It's going to be tough to get in, but they're going to be able to get through these doors pretty free. A lot of hurt players, and down 2 means that they're going to back up. They can't get any of the kills, and Habib is just barreling forward, and now Botwood's on Spy.
Yeah, they kind of overwhelmed Kobe on the other. I think it was the other side of the map, right?
Yeah, they sent 2 players on each side of the map. So, Habib, does Botwood stab Habib here? Is that the play?
I mean, better than nothing. You could go for Howard. You could be greedy. I mean, they're in the same spot. Now.
He decloaked. Howard has no idea.
God.
Another drop.
He gets the stab.
Howard has been
man.
having some very sad lives to spies. He's been the spy victim so far of this playoff series, and they are going Valley, but Habib is in. Does Habib want to go to behind? Look where he is.
He's really banking on killing someone on the flank.
Okay, he's okay.
This is a bit precarious situation.
Habib
He's
is
jumping out,
experimenting.
he's gonna
Okay, Habib.
That is what we like to call feeding.
That might have been a feed. He was waiting for someone to go that door, and just nobody went that door. So he's like, all right, I'll go to second, and then well, they get Kobe at least. That's a little bit of, and they actually have artists behind going for the back cap. So they have a bit.
Brings one back, brings two back actually, but actually no, they can't block mid per se, but they find some room. But I think they realize that now the artist is actually dead, and they're not that aggressive for the side of G6 towards the choke. Brandsam maybe finding an opening to kill Logan, but will not really find too much. But oh, now they've turned him around. Ash going in, some damage on Logan.
Brandsam's behind too.
It's so much chaos. There's like three different things happening
Look how much time they're buying. They've just been basically sitting in mid throughout all of this. They're finally getting to second, but Brandsam can try to cap mid here. He's literally on the point. And 20ZC, they don't really have the opportunity right now, but he's sending players back, and if Botmo can't win this 1v1, that's not ideal. Botmo looks like he is winning it, but G6 gonna get this, and they gotta be careful, although I don't know what's happening on this flank fight because
Slam is just winning the 1v1. So he was kind of there, but I don't think he was really healthy enough to do anything. And I mean, it's going to be a thorn on their side. They weren't able to really use the player peel to actually stop too because they were kind of afraid of getting chased down by the Uber. But I mean, at least they have their Uber for last, got something set up. But definitely got to make sure that they don't lose this. The win limit has been set. If G6 get one more round, they take this map. So
here comes Botmo Brandslam 1v1. It's just a 1v1 where meanwhile there is even Ubers on the other side of the map. Brandslam is finally hunted down. It took them a while, but they finally got him. And now they do have a 5v6 going into last. So be a little hurt from something, I don't know what. But yeah, this is so both teams so far have not done well on their respective map picks. G6 did look a little better on their map pick, but still ended up losing.
That's how it goes sometimes. So be trying to make space. We'll find a frag. We'll find two frags. He's alive. Hello?
Okay, that's not good, and Caps is just on the point.
The 20ZC last hold is so lopsided.
They killed Caps, they traded Caps for the sticky trap, but they're still in, they haven't even used, and they do manage that they drop a beep though, and they just, the point time. That
is a classic example of putting all your eggs in one basket, and in particular, I mean, putting all of your best things that could hold onto a point, like an off class or a medic or a Delman to lock things down. On the left half, they push the right. They get two and don't expend anything in return, and G6 taking the opponent's map pick 5-1 on Sunshine.
That's well, I guess if the pattern continues, we might see a 20cc victory. As Caps went 22-6, and same thing. Logan went 15-8. So now it's Jay. Actually, I felt like a little quiet that game. 13-12, only 143 DPM. Not really able to do too much on this map.
Yeah, I don't think people were expecting a dominant role on a map like Sunshine, especially since maybe not all, but a lot of the games we've seen have been crazy dominant. And usually when you think of maps that lead to like a really low stat line, it's maps that, I mean, I guess Sunshine, you could think that it could be roles if people like Deathball and stuff, but these teams didn't really Deathball at all. You think that it'll be a bunch of last holds and stuff, but G6 showing their dominance. Even though there were some stalemates able to break them and have things lead out in their favor, you can continue to look at the stats here. And Lol Guy, 0 burger deaths.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's a game and a half.
I guess we never noticed that Lol Guy was just alive the whole game. Kind of, yeah. He even lived through the round loss apparently, and the soldiers for 20cc with a combined 14 kills between the two of them. Not ideal, but it's Sunshine, and especially if you're getting mid to lasted a lot, there might not be that much you are able to do on Soldier.
Oh, we're going to Sultry next.
We are going to Sultry next.
It just sunk in.
Yeah, we're going to Sultry next.
I don't know how to feel. I'm conflicted.
Buckle in. We might do we want to take our break here between maps?
I mean, it's probably for the best. It's gonna be the only break we really get. So it's a 3-2 or not 3-2. What? 2-1 in favor of G6 since they came in with one map advantage. If G6 win one more map, they are your grand finals champions. Well, 20DC, they still have a little bit of a road to climb. They need this and one more. So stick around. We're going to take a quick break. Make sure we got everything under wraps before we get into Sultry, which is going to be quite the long game if any of the other Sultry games are an example. They've lasted anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour because teams are still figuring out the map as the game goes on. There's little nuances and strategy you got to make sure you iron out, and we're gonna make sure we have everything ironed out as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute or two. So we'll just take a sec.
All insane. We'll blindly hop aboard the nearest cattle train, and we're off to see the profit squeezed from me. If every person died, you'd sell our bodies to the insects. Get your cameras out, the world is on display. On our right you'll see our morals rot away. I think I have a plan, but first you'll have to pay. I take cash, Venmo, card, PayPal, maybe it's not hard. You don't need my trust. You just need my labor. We point out your unjust. You turn us on our neighbor. There will come a time the final straw will break. You put too much of all our livelihood at stake. And at the trouble show that this is
Welcome back.
all
We have returned from the intermission, and before we get too deep into Sultry, which is going to be what I would assume to be quite the long match, I think we're still having some players sit around and spec and AFK themselves. So I think it's important to go ahead and remind everyone that we do have new merch, new designs coming in seasonal that you can take a peek at. I think the shop.rgl.gg as always. So
Hey, there's Jay.
yeah, if you see anything that catches your eye, you can go ahead and take it for yourself. Should be pretty nice. It's a good way to support the designers of the TF2 community as well as some of the players for when you do drives for lands and things like that. So, like I said, see anything you like, go ahead and grab it. Because usually the stuff is seasonal. It's not there forever. It's there for a bit. You don't have to rush too fast, but you want to get it while it's still fresh in your brain so you don't forget. Because once it's gone, it's gone. So get it while you can.
Most definitely. There's some sick shirts there. I like the one with the frog. And speaking of frog, there's a frog on this map as well, interestingly enough. But I see the spy. There's a little spy crab with a lunch pail there. Pretty good
The
stuff.
frog's a fan favorite, I think.
I think people really like the frog. Frogs are just popular, you know?
True. This is streamed to Twitch after all. Frogs are kind of a
True.
staple.
True. Well, I guess there's Jay again. But yeah, there is the merch. It's in the store. You can check it out. Help support the players, broadcasters, RGL, all the good stuff.
Yep. Now it's time to move on to Sultry. This is gonna be an interesting one. I'm still waiting for a Sultry match that goes to 5, or a Sultry match that ends up being pretty quick. I mean, I think maybe we've seen Sultry matches that are quick in terms of like as soon as you hit the time limit and the win limit is set. Coincidentally, a team got around right then, so not even
Yeah.
quick in that way. But it seems like it takes a bit for people to figure stuff out, and I don't know if that's the map's fault per se, but it's definitely, you could say it's a byproduct of, you compare this to like a map where it's like, oh yeah, I've been playing this map for like 6 years. I've plugged on it like every weekend, almost every weekend for about the same.
Hey,
So I
wake
know
up an AC process.
so like I know the limits that I can push myself to in different areas of the map and what strategies that can work and what I need to have happen for them to work. But this, it's kind of just an intuition thing. You kind of experiment and see what makes sense, and maybe when you are in these heat limit scenarios, there's moments where you have lapses of judgment or kind of are wrong or didn't realize that certain things could happen in a way that kind of beats you down and makes it difficult to be as dominant if you were the favorite. So I think that is definitely an explanation on why we're seeing games that are a bit slower and stalemate, but also that aren't really going to 5. But the big question is between these two teams is who's learned the most, who's going to end up on top, and I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't think it's gonna be a question of whether or not it's a slow match because I don't see it going to 5. Do you? Time
I,
to predict.
I don't see it going to 5 unless there's an epic comeback. But yeah, going into the predictions here, we have seen 20cc have a lot of familiar experience in this map. They just played it today. I was we've seen some long sultry matches gone on for a very long time. Last used to be easy to push, and now it is apparently the impossible point. No one can do it. It's just if you get in onto last, there's too many things to do, and your team wipes. So definitely a little bit troublesome. Oh yeah, well, that's map time predictions first. You gotta love it. As
True.
what's your map time prediction, Jarrett? And also, by the way, if you want to vote for over an hour, it's just put in over 60 minutes. So no no 2 colons, no like 1:20:30.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be 48 minutes. That's what I'm
48.
saying.
That's
48 minutes.
that's a low. That's a low and bold
That's
time, if
low
I say so
for
myself.
Sultry, yeah. But I mean,
What
it's all about the timing because the clock could run out right when someone is about to last push, and that could be the team that's in the lead.
Yeah.
So good workout. I think that's how one of the regular season matches went, actually. But in terms of score, we actually saw this matchup yesterday. It was the second match in the upper bracket final between, it was G6 versus 20cc, and it was a 3-2, right? In G6's favor.
Something like that, definitely. But G6 also do not have as much fresh experience on this map as 20cc do. They just went through the ringer earlier today on this map. Very long match, and in the end came out on top over Freight Tech. Although G6, if they're watching the RGLgg stream, they also got to see it, got to see what strategies 20cc like to perform. So who knows which one of those gives you a bigger advantage? Actually playing the map or seeing what 20cc likes to do on the map?
I think for my score pred, I will say I think it's going to be a 2-1 for some reason. I don't have a reason, but it's just like one of those moments where your gut tells you something, so you're like, oh, okay, I guess. So my gut says 2-1 for some reason in favor of G6, so that's what I'll go with.
I've seen. There's no way it's as long as the previous one, right? Surely that can never happen. So
Surely.
I'm gonna say a 4. You know what? I'll be bold. I'll say 5-4 in favor of 20cc.
Really?
I'll be bold and brash. Not that
What
I
are
think
you
it's.
smoking?
I don't think it's gonna happen, but if I'm right, I look really smart.
Is that why you said that there was that snake water game that was going to last 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Just throw
I
out
bet that
something
again.
wild.
By the way, I did. It's one of these days I'll be right, and you guys will all be very impressed.
It might take a year, but maybe you'll get there one day.
Yeah.
Maybe in a different matchup, but we are
I
going
did
live.
it once at the 13
That's true.
minute time.
Yeah, but we are going live, so we'll see what both teams are bringing to the table. We'll see how the mids go differently. I'm trying to remember how
They just
the mids
sand the
worked out
corners.
last
They
time.
just literally is like hitting corners and spin.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's the one by IT or by secret or frog, what do you call it?
The one that doesn't have frog a secret.
Yeah, secret. Yeah. So they've been sending by secret, and looks like that is kind of actually one guy electing to play a little bit more closer to Chook comparatively to Howard, but they're gonna get a little farther up. Damage being traded, but overall, they're just doing damage onto which Ash is finally gonna do a high bump, loop around, and actually
Find
just
Logan.
headshot. That was a headshot rocket and a half.
Double bomb incoming then, though. They find Howard, and they actually get a beat, but they've given up so much. G6 they lost a bit right off the bat. They tried to counter initiate, but the fact they already lost Logan means so much of their damage is immediately gone, and just have to back up. Ash is not even afraid about Caps peeking at all, just has the skill stick out for the longest time and is a-okay with it as a Cap goes in favor of 20cc after they win the first mid fight. But how much did you really win by? Wolguy still has 100% Uber. That's the team rolling out.
They're going to be getting into mid very fast.
Early. Yeah, they're getting some cap time. 20cc know that G6 is rolling out just as fast as they are, so they have some ample opportunity to go ahead and bomb in and maybe lock down the doors, and immediately going over towards the secret side. Ash can pick up
Soapy, actually,
able to
that's
get
2
kills. They're unable to use this Uber effectively. G6 with already losing 2. There's no way they can go unless 20cc overstep, and stepping they are.
Oh, we heard Howard actually beef the bow, hit Soapy, and that ends up being the kill. As they're gonna 2-man sack, Ash and Grand Slam gonna go down in the 2-man. And the fact that it seemed more content the 2-man, even though they don't have the point, is interesting because they have the point, but they have 30% Uber disset, so they really don't seem that confident in a G6, or at least they're okay with giving this mid up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they were confident that maybe they could get at least 1 frag, so even though the 2-man doesn't find the person, that they're able to get at least something. But bomb coming in from Soapy doesn't really find too much. I mean, there was a lot of damage on Howard, but no other follow-up, so they're just going to take the pack and they're going to be a-okay. So stalemate. G6 owning mid after winning/losing the mid fight, and secret poking from
there goes
Ash. Ash is going to die, but I think they're kind of on the move. G6, they're over towards the frog side. I guess they're kind of deciding a door. Not really sure yet. Maybe choke.
Yeah. G6, you know, the second point has been pretty tough to get into. Although when ECC figured out some good strats towards the end of the Freo game, I feel like they had better strategies than they did in the past. It looks like, look at G6. They're actually just getting in. They're getting so much space off of just how passive 20ZC is, and the health too isn't going in the favor of 20ZC. There's 3 players in the red currently. They're getting blowed up. Jay looks like he's ready. He actually nukes Caps, but it's going to be Soapy going behind, and that's going to be 2 kills in the way of 20ZC, actually.
Yep, and maybe even a 3rd. Finding Kobe, he's alone, no pack is available for him, so getting the 3 kills. It seems like the trend for this map so far is if you are holding your own second, even if you have Uber, you have to put in a whole lot of extra work to thwart the offenders. It seems like all these teams are just walking through the chokes relatively free, and then it'll kind of go off from there. Although, you know, this time around, 20cc are able to hold on to it, and able to go and take mid as well, so it'll be another even scenario, the stalemate, except the shoes on the other foot, with 20cc owning the midpoint this time around.
Most definitely owning the midpoint this time around, and Ubers are actually pretty much dead even. Howard with that sick 5% ad to really work off of. You know, I'm sure Habib salivating at the bomb, but gonna just select, and I want to see if 20ZC, the improved sack stated ult, looks like they're actually just gonna send Artist in the. Oh, Artist, that was
Soapy's in 2.
failure.
On Habib.
Trying to actually get on Habib, and Habib gets bowed midair. Big bow there from Howard, but they gotta be too careful that they're not too aggressive. Trading it's currently a 5v5, and both soldiers on the same respawn, so. You know, if they want to post up, they can send someone as a sack 5v5. And Artist, I feel like Artist usually doesn't off-class, so yep, back onto him.
Actually, putting some damage into Kobe instead, I guess he thought that was maybe the easiest kill to obtain, but gets a lot of damage, no frags there, so the sack coming in from Ashes will not really find too much.
Yeah,
no
they're getting
from G6
very aggressive
yet.
in choke. Most definitely. Logan getting pretty aggressive in choke. They're going to back up, though. It looks like the 1-man, they don't really want to push off of it. They're a little scared. Not really sure what they want to do, and just waiting on 20ZC here to make a move and
Grand Slam.
do something. And yeah, okay, that's the move. They're gonna elect to do something. It's actually spy, not sniper. Interestingly
It's
enough.
gonna take forever. That's the thing we talked about in some of these spy timings. Is if you
They
take
can
too
solo,
long
though.
if you take too long to do anything, they're gonna wonder why you're taking so long. Although this is I don't think we've seen a moment where people have gone spy in this point yet. So there's not a whole lot of PTSD of like getting backstabbed in this particular spot.
Well, they
So
haven't
maybe they'll
figured
be
it
okay.
out yet. At least they don't look super paranoid. And
They seem fine.
they seem fine. I'm curious. I figured they would ult and bot mode bumped into him. So
That's
they
some
do
bad
know,
luck there.
although he's still okay, bot mode does manage to get him down. So that's one failed spy. Bot mode says Ascent skis, nice try. As they're gonna be getting a little aggressive in choke. Soapy actually gonna go in for the bomb. Can he get onto Howard? Nice rocket, but only one.
Yeah, not quite enough. Overall, just 1 for 1. See if Bransom comes up any other funny class.
Oh, that was
Spy
a failed
once again.
spoon.
Oh, never mind.
See,
yeah,
that would have been intelligent.
didn't really crit.
The double spy, whoever expects that.
Ash behind, just jumps into alley, is in last, brings people back. Artist uses the space, gets some damage on Kobe. The Uber change goes up, but Jay gets dropped. no scout available for the side of 20cc's. Brand Sam is still rolling out. That's going to be a pretty poor post. And oh, Artist tried to find Kobe on the other side of Zero, but will just end up finding his death.
And Ash is still behind.
2-player ad for G6. They clean up Ash, making it a 3-player ad as they barrel through the joke, mind the traps. The Cadets do not connect too far away from either side of the walls as they're barreling through, finding Brand Sam caught, pipe, sticky, scattered down by Caps, and that is another scout dead in favor of G6 as they've collected the point, they've collected some frags, and they've collected a really slight 20% ad, which is going to be hard to use, but technically could come into play at some point. It could make 20C play passive enough where they're just walking straight over.
Actually, they're not playing passive at all. They're counter-bombing the trope, making sure people are hurt. And Ashley's actually managed to work his way in behind, but he is going to fall, so that is a 1-for-1 trade. Kobe, though, going to manage to get a kill, but is traded out. Actually, it's a double trade. There's no soldiers on the field, but Caps is going to fall to Brand Slam, and that might be a signal to retreat here for G6, and Brand Slam still wants to go in.
Yeah, overstayed their welcome, just a tap. I think they saw the victory in their sight and they tried to just snowball it as a thing, but I think their entry over towards the lobby area was just a bit too much. They're kind of going blind if you turn around the corner in that doorway or open the shutter and just meet your maker and end up paying the price. So at the end of the day, I mean, push isn't really going to work out for them. Just settling for mid, and 20C get to hold on to their own second, but so far it's been a bit difficult. I mean, it's not impossible, but definitely much more difficult than other maps to hold on to this point. It seems like that whoever owns mid is able to walk in just a tad, and we'll see how G6 begin to initiate that as they have some people over toward the frog side, but it seems like there's a rotation. Not really sure how they want to commit.
Not really sure how they want to commit indeed, as both teams, they're trying to get in. Soapy's actually is committing a little bit. Actually, he gets Artist, but he's going to be able to trade it out by Jay, and Jay definitely... he's at the top of the scoreboard right now for the 20ZC, so maybe putting in some good work, but in the end, it's still 1-for-1 trades, and actually they do get Bob mode as the second one, so Ash gonna survive a little bit of a scare there health-wise, and that's a 6v4 now. They did double sack, and we'll have to see if they can get in.
Yeah, unfortunate for bot mode, as soon as he's trying to peek, he finds himself face first with Ash was going towards the doorway, but Jay's trying to poke and prod over towards Secret, just buy some time, buy some eyes to maybe buy extra room for someone else to go in on the other side of the map, but will not find the space. Ash took some damage, walked down by the players over by Frog, and will not find the success to go ahead and go for any sort of form of counter sack, so just biding their time, kind of operating on the idea of, you know, G6 can come to us and they'll make their mistakes and we'll punish them when it's hard enough, but they're over towards Frog now. I think the idle positioning for G6, they're kind of just going back and forth to whatever doorway, and it's not really an indicator on what they're actually going to try to do as a plan, just buffing everyone up. But they're pulling the trigger now, bombing through, double soldier on an Artist, will not die this time, but G6, they have the packs up, jumping away, and it'll just be a failed attempt that doesn't really amount to too much.
Yeah, G6 is a sack attempt, but so kind of like poor health-wise right off the bat. They're just like, yeah, let's just get healthy and go next. No reason to just die for no reason. Is me putting up some stickies on the secret side of the map, I have to remember what I call it, as there actually is a lot of players in Chokin. G6 are taking this very slowly. Both teams really don't want to give up their mid control super easily, but Bob mode actually is going to make his way a little bit through secret, going to just buy some space, see what's going on, and yeah, some really slow gameplay out here, and they're finally, the flank is actually going behind, 2 players going behind and Shutter. That might be that's a new interesting novel theory, as they are both on last now.
Yep, it's going to be a giant thorn on their side. Bottom's actually all the way in alley and might be able to flank onto Ash, finding the off angle. Soapy a bit weak, but Ash spinning in circles, finally getting the rocket on there. Brantham getting Soapy as well.
And there's an exchange happening on mid.
Yeah, they use their Uber, but it's not even an exchange. As Logai did not use the Uber, he held the entire time. Jay a bit weak, takes the damage, will eat a pipe on his way out. And even though they got the flank behind, this Uber did not really find anything at all. 20ZC expend a bit too much, and G6, I don't think that was the outcome they were expecting, but it's one they'll definitely take and be happy about it. They got some respawners coming in now. The flank that had eventually perished before has arrived. Soapy taking the pack, able to initiate if he needs to, but Kobe will die
and
over
Ash
on the secret side.
Yeah, Botmo gonna looking behind for him, and Ash is buying some eyes. As he's going back in, he might be able to get something good. He's going very high in the sky. I don't know if they see him, and he gets good damage on Logan. Logan has to back up. Cap's falling as well. This Uber that might have built from Jace hit, and he gets Soapy, and he lives. They've lost 3, and they might get forced on the spin or have to back up entirely. They still haven't popped throughout all of this.
Yep, out through secret. I think they tried to be greedy about it, but did not really work out in their favor. The bomb from Ash did a lot of damage, and Soapy's just in the corner asking for an arrow. I've never received it, and Jay eventually finding the frag on him makes 2 turn to 3, and a bit too difficult to go ahead and use the Uber in that situation. Too much room to cover, so the hands of mid will be swapped, and 20cc will take a turn, take ownership of it, and try to crack into G6 a second as they post up on top of the high ground. Pretty much all of them there getting buffed up, surrounding the little guy. and just poking through Secret 20ZC, trying to get some extra space, and the floodgates have been open. Shay trying to poke and prod.
Ooh,
Artist will
Artist
die on
death.
the other side of the map. Ash is trying to do a counter initiation
Oh,
jump,
this
but
could be
will
bad.
eventually die. Not able to enter Secret as well. Kobe going for a sack on a mid, seeing the deaths in the kill feed, and Bobo's actually through the choke. Same with Soapy through Frog. They're buying some extra space for the team, but they're not really utilizing it quite yet. Branson really deep, just drive-bys. Bot mode will give up his life, but holy, I'm surprised he did not die sooner.
So am I. I saw him and I thought he was dead for sure, but getting that bot mode trait
Oh, they're trapped
definitely
out.
helps out.
Stickies.
Oh,
Logan
Caps
jumped
is gonna
over, but
fall.
Caps
That's no
can't.
scouts.
Great play from Habib. Made
Jace
sure
is
the
dead.
echo
He
was
two shots
difficult.
Logan. Oh wait,
And
Artist gets air shot. Artist gets. Okay, there's a lot of things happening here. You see a big bomb from Soapy. Oh, that's a
Soapy!
drop
That's
onto
huge.
Howard. Wait, but Ash, he's in a low guy, and that's
Thought he
a
was gonna
plus.
get the-
Oh,
Oh, pause. Oh, it's
There's-
not now, but you'd think it'd be now.
there's
but it's
no
not.
one to help at low guy. Look at this. He has to hit this bow.
Yeah, but look at both sides. Once on second and once on mid. There's some players that look to be a bit in danger, but
There's a lot of danger.
the low guy has his crossbow out. You're right. This could be a double
if Ash
drop.
hits the air shot, low guy's dead.
I'm just staring at him. I don't know when this unpause is going in. There's no countdown or anything like that. I just want to see what happens
Okay.
with this medic in the
You
air.
get low guy. I think Habib's dead. I don't know.
Habib's dead. He can't even surf it. He doesn't have the HP for it.
If he has a pipe, maybe he can hit. No, Kobe has 150. There's no way. Habib can just trade at best. Yeah, this is literally just. Does Ash manage to kill low guy here? If low guy can surf out well enough, Ash might have to, might have the rockets to chase. But low guy also might. Even if force here is good for 20ZC. It's not ideal, obviously. Don't like your mid drop in that scenario, but it's a lot better than it could have been.
Drop for drop, eye for an eye.
Yeah, eye for an eye, indeed. Pop mode is okay. He's just spawning. He's nowhere. It's literally just Kobe and
It's these four. Everyone
just
else
these
is nowhere
four.
to be seen.
yeah. Everyone else is just rolling out. So we might actually end up having a scout MG much further in the future with Brand Slam and bot mode if they if they just bumble into each other.
Maybe. I mean, after this,
It's gonna be Ash versus Kobe.
because there's a big question of does Ash miss and Lolkai is able to pop his Uber in time, and then what happens with Ash's life when Kobe kills Habib? Does he have enough HP to live, or is Ash gonna be able to get him on his way out after he forces him? And then does G6 go through with there? Because the fight is over on their territory. Bot mode's getting there way before Brand Slam ever will in terms
Yeah.
of helping. So as long as Lolkai doesn't drop, this should be relatively G6 favor. But if he does drop, then it becomes a bit more coin flippy because it will turn into like Ash versus Kobe.
Yeah, that's and Ash is probably gonna have lower HP considering low guy does have his bows that might hit a bow. Ash might have to chase with the rockets, might run into bomb. So I think Ash is probably dead after he gets this drop and or force, depending on what happens. And if he gets the force, Kobe might be able to come back and get Uber to just kill Ash, but it's still like Howard died a couple seconds ago. It's gonna be like roughly even Ubers, maybe like 10-20%. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Well,
Might be a bit hard to use, but I guess we've seen before in situations where a team recognizes like, oh, well, we have like 15 disad, but as long as we hold passive, they can't use it. Then a team sees like, oh, they're holding passive. Okay, well, anyone holding the door can't really get healed, so let's just try to walk in early. And you could use it like that. It just kind of is telegraphed. There's no like, all right, we have disad. I wonder, is it going to be a demo bomb in, or are they going to try to slow walk it, and that changes your positioning? It's kind of like a thing where everyone in the server knows that if a push is going to happen, they know how it's going to happen. And that's why those advantages end up not getting used, is because there's no surprise factor whatsoever.
what if Kobe just misses? What if Kobe just I don't know.
He could take self damage. He could get piped and then kill himself on accident with the rocket splash that takes out him and Habib at the same time.
What if Habib just walks up and melees him with like the katana or something?
What if Habib retries the server right now?
Ooh, that would be smart. I think that would be very intelligent.
It's not allowed. It's not allowed, but in a very special way, it'd be very intelligent.
It would be very intelligent until the round gets reset and potentially banned as a. Yeah, this is a. I hope for their sake that both 20ZC players hit their air shots. Not that Ash's air shots kind of important. Habib's air shots kind of just for the
Oh.
cloud.
Double pause champ.
Double pause?
They like pause and unpause very quickly.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
They move slightly.
Ash's rocket is like directly centered on Logo.
This surf is not a pencil, by the way.
Yeah,
This,
no,
this
he's
is not
going.
going to be easy. The only
Yeah.
way this is quote unquote easy is if he holds onto it until Lolgai reaches the wall, which isn't even guaranteed.
Okay, so somebody lagged out. If I had to bet on one person who lags out, it's probably Howard.
Yeah, I would put my money on Howard as well. I
Yeah.
just fingers crossed for them, for their sake that the timing is okay. It's not the lag doesn't happen now, it happens 90 seconds in the future to what we're seeing. So it's not like, "Oh, it's fine because Howard's dead right now." So he just retries the server and it's like nothing happened. He could have been like halfway to his Uber and then it gets reset. But
Yeah.
I think we've seen gentlemen agreements before, but it's not necessarily guaranteed. You're not really owed anything
I
per
think we saw
se
gentlemen
to
agreements
those.
between these two teams. Remember, they were like,
Yeah, but that was for the config being wrong, which is a different scenario
true, but
than
there's still
like
a gentleman's agreement. They like Ash was like trolling in the chat about about what Uber percentages were. You know,
true.
there's definitely a bit of a trolling that could potentially go on, but looks like if it's I don't know if it's a repause to get someone back on the server, this is a long repause.
It is. I think it's one of those maybe like
Maybe someone crashed.
you ever have one of those moments where your internet screws up so bad that it makes it hard to reconnect to all the things that you initially could ever connect to? Like your internet goes out, it comes back, and you like try to reconnect to the mumble you were just in. It's like, huh, I'm browsing my favorites and I can enter every single mumble except the one that I was just in. And, like the same could be said for TF2 servers sometimes because your internet just hard trolls you. Could be like that. It could be someone like they pause and repause because someone's like stuck, like connecting to the server, and they were wondering like, is it the pause? Is that why, or is my internet just screwed?
Yeah,
So could
could
be.
be something like
I've
that.
had that happen before. It hasn't happened to me recently, thankfully, but it's always
Don't
hyper
jinx
annoying.
yourself.
Well, because you think it's like you've either fixed it or it's not a big deal. It's like, oh well, it came out, but it came back, whatever. It gets fine. And then it turns out now I gotta go restart and then check my connection to literally everything. So that's always kind of annoying.
Yeah, gotta reset the router. You know, gotta make sure all my chakras are aligned, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
And plus, then whenever someone pauses, somebody always goes AFK. Maybe they unpaused and then we're just like, oh
Oh
wait, someone's
yeah, the classic. Like, wait, someone's in the bathroom.
yeah, someone leaves like I think Caps did that once where he just like left mid pause and they're just like, nope, Caps is AFK, we gotta repause. So
And it's always the opposite team. Whoever like
oh
crashed,
yeah,
whoever crashes like, all right, we're back, unpausing in 5, and the opposing team's like, wait, someone's not here. So you have to take turns
I could ask
grabbing the
bot
hall
mode what
pass.
happened, but that might be spoilers.
Maybe a bit spoilers.
Maybe.
Not the biggest deal. I mean, we'll see in a
Yeah.
quick burst because it'll happen in just a second. Not
I'll
a
a-
second from now, but
I'll ask bot mode attack question mark or attack or crash question mark. Ooh, caps lagging. That's what we have heard from Dolphin is that it's actually caps lagging. Not ideal. Caps like is it caps like a yeah, he's like a 3 finger, so probably not used to lag.
at least it's. I don't know if that's better than just crashing because lag.
It's definitely
at least
better than
means,
crashing.
lag at least means that you know you're still where you were in the server to a degree. So it's not like, oh no, I'm not there for the push or opportunity is squandered and we don't get to really do it. But then it's also like it feels like general lag, like ping spikes or just like stuttering, is a bit more difficult of a thing to try to fix more often than not compared to just like, oh my internet went out really quick, but it's back. That type of deal.
Yeah.
At least in my experience, every time I try to fix my internet, it's been much easier to deal with it when it's just like, oh, it's out and back again, compared to the moments where it's like, oh, I have 90 ping, and every time I restart my router, it won't go away. Call my SP, they won't do anything.
Cap should make his internet worse and just lag around the map and just be the invincible man. That's a good strategy. I've done that myself, not intentionally, but if your internet is so bad, sometimes it's impossible for you to hit people and for the other team to hit you. But the thing is, on Scout, they can't hit you more than you can't hit them, so that becomes an advantage. But I think that's also against the RGL rules to do that.
Yeah,
so.
I was about to say, if your internet's so bad, you get temp banned from the league until you can prove you can fix
Yeah,
it.
until you prove you're not just like warping around the map the whole time. It's a unfortunate, sad
Lag
state of
switch.
affairs. Yeah, yeah. Specifically to prevent people lag switching, being like, oh, well, there's no rules against having bad internet. Where it's like, oh, yeah, there it is. You can't just lag switching around the map.
It's always so hard to fight against the laggy people. I like playing Doma in particular.
Oh yeah, because
You
they just
can't-
warp out of your shots.
No, well, not even that. Like, it's one thing for hit scan, but I set up a trap and I want to dead it as soon as they walk through it, and then he just appears on the other
He
side
just-
of
yeah,
it.
he
It's
just
like,
phases through
what?
the trap. Yeah, that can be kind of rough.
I just
I,
end up dying.
I hope Caps fixes this internet soon because Sultry already usually lasts a hot minute.
That's long enough as it is.
It's long enough as it is. Although I feel like we've had more pauses in Sultry than the other maps.
True.
Maybe just because we've had more Sultry, like time wise.
That's also true. We've seen this more in the playoffs run than we have throughout the entire regular season.
And You think Ash actually hits this? Lolgai has a good surf. He's going sideways.
I think he can hit a rocket. I don't know if it's going to be an 80 damage rocket.
Oh, he missed it. But Lolgai, he actually might get the pack. Oh,
he
that's a good force. Good force. So huge there from Ash. That is the unpause, and Habib, yeah, Habib died.
He died in the choke.
Yeah, very sad, but that is going to be a force, so that is a good scenario for Ash. It didn't hit the air shot, but close enough as 20cc, they even Ubers, they are down Ash as a late death, but it's
Gets the forwards.
Yeah, it gets the forwards.
They're just exchanging who owns mid. Nothing's really happening that will result in a team pushing last quite yet. Still 0-0.
Oh my god, it is still 0-0.
Mm-hmm. But it's not about the score, it's about the time. So 12 minutes have gone through for this match. 18 more until you end up hitting a win limit setting, so there's a whole lot to still work through before we get to that area. But G6 on the driver's seat. Still have to build the rest of the Uber. They're barely getting it now. Actually, they have a 25
Logan's
ad,
going, Logan's
and
bombing.
they're going for it. They know the 25 ad exists. I didn't even pay
Howard's
attention to
so
that.
far back.
They're in the alley. Got some damage. No frags so far. A lot of room, but that's going to be all she wrote. Kobe actually a bit too deep. I think he tried to go for the giant play where he goes into lower, wraps around through the last, and ends up behind them, but changes mind and gets punished for it. So one player dead, afraid of the eventual Uber coming from the red team. G6 just back up in its entirety. They already expended their soul.
Habib is bombing deep. He's going in.
He's deep.
Oh, Habib might be caught out though. Habib, bot mode. Can he kill the Habib? Oh, he got bombed.
The arrow. Bot mode missed one too many shots.
Still, this is like an leapfrog. At least they get a kill with it. I guess that's nominally better, but okay, that's
this is
the
the
pause. Yeah,
okay, that wasn't a big deal.
There is so much There is so much typing during the lag. Holy. That was there was a novel type. Yeah, they actually are just trying, and I actually kind of respect that. They gotta get in some. Ash gonna bomb onto Logan, but Logan gonna get the kill. Logan is still very hurt, but he's gonna back up. Ash didn't do quite enough damage, but look at the damage. They're all so passive and so backed up, but they didn't get any kills. They dropped 3 players for naught.
Kobe's on the move. He wants Howard. That's a bit too far, Kobe. You have to cut your losses and go over towards their secret, but
Habib might be caught up.
Habib, don't challenge us. There's too many people. He will end up dying. So late demo man death, they're definitely going to get rid of him as a respawn.
Howard's on.
Howard is stack it.
Yeah, Howard does have Uber now, and they do get forwards. This forward is kind of close to where they can fight. So they are down Habib, but it's going to be exchanged minus Habib. Habib is going to get a very unfortunate back spawn, and Ash is kind of hurt. This might be a little rough.
Yeah, the soldiers are weak as well. Fran Sam dying.
Oh, they're
so
hurt. Yeah, they have to save.
They're kind of forced to. They're so weak. They're trying to find their way into Lolgai, but
they gotta get any kills. They can't get anything.
Nothing. They didn't take the initiative. They took way too much damage, and it's the curse of the second hold of
Habib.
Habib.
Okay, no, he got out. He
Surfs
actually had a good
out
surf.
through lower. Yeah,
good
work out. Oh, the chase is on. Oh, Caps is unable to find him. Soapy maybe coming to help, but we'll just jump away, recognizing that Caps is already dead. So, G6 finally taking 2 in an ample position to try to find a way to break into last. They do have ad. It's 80% dwindling, but they have plenty of time. Caps probably waiting for his respawn before they push. It gives 20cc some time to build. They got the gun up, but it looks like lower is going to be the door choice. The sticky got
Logan.
But he's just in the skybox.
And Ash is behind. He can pinch behind. Although Caps also might be shooting Ash in the back. Maybe a little rough, but Ash actually can live, maybe? Oh my god. Oh, just close. But they do manage to trade up, but Jay's actually going to be a death, but they have so many players on the point, they had no one to block, and that's going to be the first round going the way of G6, and that is a 1-0. Feel like a G6.
Despite how awkward that initial bomb-in was through lower, they're still able to find a whole lot. So much damage on the soldiers. Another one of the scenarios that we saw and the conception of this map being pushed into last was the soldiers don't really have tons of space to actually go to that's anywhere safe. Ash was definitely a proponent of that, where you couldn't actually find anywhere to land. Found somewhere, but just eventually had to leave and unable to do a counter initiation in time. So 20cc lose around, G6 take it back to another mid. Both these teams so far have played relatively slow. No bomb straight in. I think that's the concept of a big map. Up until now, they bombed into the other team's Tetris for the side of 20cc, trying to take as much space as possible. Brand Slam will bite the dust, the first casualty in this second mid fight of Sultry.
They're so hurt, they're just backing up.
Yeah, that's enough for 20cc to call it quits and back up to their own 2.
Yeah, after the pipe kill, from 5v6 there was rough and they were hurt. You can have there's Habib immediately gets a kill onto Sophie. Somewhere. So good kill from Habib there, preventing the sack from coming in. And now it's on a 20cc can maybe try to go for a sack. It looks like it's actually Jay and the rest of his team. He's trying to see if they can get in through the door for free. He's trying to clear the sticks. He actually jumped over the sticks, and they got both soldiers in through choke. And Artist is not having a ball.
The soldiers are both really weak on both sides. Actually, Kobe's going to be the one to fall, though I thought it would be... Okay, Ash will indeed fall. So ultimately a trade just from each other's teammates is bot mode. Bot mode's doing it again. What is this man doing? There's a team fight happening,
Habib, wait, Habib and Jay are both very hurt. Habib actually he's in kind of a funny corner, and bot mode is going for the long con.
He's wrapping around all the way through Secret, and his team is dying, but they're trying to make some space. 1 down, 2 down.
Might get the
Bot mode
drop.
has to
I
get
don't
the
know.
stab.
Oh,
He has to get
Howard,
this. He
Howard,
has
no!
to.
Somebody,
Oh,
he missed it! He missed
The
it!
revolver. Oh, he still uses. He was afraid of a second revolver shot coming out, and still technically gets the force. But they had to give up so much for it. It was a wraparound in the making that. I mean, he got something, but is that enough? They've given up a lot. 20cc are going to take a lot in return. Taking the mid, but yeah, they still have Uber. That is something, and ample opportunity to go ahead and try to retake the mid. But the whole 20c squad is here and ready to try to hold it the best they can.
At least, you know, Howard didn't die there. You know, that would have been a little tilting if I was Howard. Bomb mode, you know, you can't let them all succeed, but G6 is gonna get in, and we do see a bomb in from Ash. He is actually, they're gonna use pretty much right away. Habib might be caught out, and he is gonna be caught out, but he
jumped
trades
into a
with his
trap.
own sticky.
Oh my god.
He trapped himself off, and you know, that's just, I don't know, I feel like that's just a very Habib thing to happen. Even when you get Ubered on and you're caught out, you still accidentally killed the demo with your own sticky.
So silly, but that's actually really good for G6. They know there's much less chasing power for the side of 20cc. It's only going to be a soldier bombing in, which is still very lethal, but it's slightly less threatening.
Oh, there's no stickies to block the chokes, they're just in.
Soapy, he looped around through Frog, got behind bomb through choke, and bomb was doing the same, except actually maybe potentially starting a back cap or at least tying up Habib. They're actually bringing back their team, and yeah, Artist and
They
Brandon
don't have Uber quite yet, and they
to...
have to go back for bot mode.
Yeah, they're not really going to be able to fight this. They're still poking around through the choke. I think they realize the bomb was too far away, and they're actually going to change their mind and see if they can eliminate the threat of G6 existing on mid, and they do
Ash
that
gets bot mode.
actually. Blown
the other
into
way
the air,
around.
but they've given up so much in bot mode. He's arrived now, 3 alive for 20cc. They've given up everything, and they will take it all. G6 getting everyone except Howard, who will eventually fall. Maybe one melee? Not
Almost.
quite.
A lot
Give
of
the
hurt.
medic, get the second point.
Yeah, a lot of hurt players. Kobe's actually already in lobby, just eating packs. Bot mode, roll guy died. So, yeah, gonna be even Ubers. Ash on Spy. Very, yeah, just settling into actually, classic stalemate.
Yep. Howard spawns now. Do you have
How did
some
Lil Guy
off
die?
class choice happening? He got shot into the air, surfed it, and then a scout came and hit scanned him out of the air.
Ah, okay.
But he was the only death. They had to give up 3 for the distraction and the damage and all that. So it was way too deep of a target for it to be really worth it. The counter initiation was a bit too strong, but yeah, Ash on Spy is what we're looking at here. It's even. So I think we've seen moments where Ash does not wait for the sack to go through, and when he sees an opportunity, he just goes for it.
Yeah.
So I have my eyes on him.
It's a fast Spy, which I kind of like. They are kind of like looking around. Bot mode's also all the way back.
There's not too paranoid.
Is
like,
that
there's no
accurate?
reason to
Bot mode's
be.
just in, like, Bot mode's just in his old spawn. Okay, he switched, he went back all the way to his old spawn, all the way on his last to switch to Spy.
Watch him spot this decloak as he's rolling out. That'd be
That
hilarious.
that would be very intelligent, but I
Watch
think
him
Bot
walk
mode might
through
be a
alley
little...
right now.
I don't think they have the
no.
exact... Yeah.
Oh, now they
I think Ash... I wonder if Ash spotted Bot
You know,
mode
he
too.
probably checked. Bot mode probably checked. Because he's on Spy in the first place, right? Might as well, like, check for off
I
classes
don't know,
as you're
did he?
rolling out. Bot mode does,
Oh, look
though.
at, yeah, okay, Soapy's shooting oxygen.
He
Bot
has
mode
an
says
entire
oops and
rollout.
dies. I think Ash might have spotted Bot mode.
He ran out of cloak.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But Ash playing the long con here. He's actually switching his disguise, trying to be stealthy and sneaky as yeah, Ash is playing the Giga long con, and Bot mode's back up on Spy. Oh, he's checking classes now, though. Oh, he's on Sniper now.
Jay's on Sniper as well. Trying to poke and prod through alley. Soapy did a giant bomb. A lot of damage, but no kills. Red health, 60 HP for Habib and 6 for Artist.
Yeah, that is not that much health, and Ash is still on Spy, and he's going to be able to call bot mode Sniper going into lobby, so that's nice at least. But I'm looking at the G6 players, and they're definitely kind of spinning around like they expect a Spy.
I feel
Ash
like
should-
if I was Ash, I would consider going back to spawn at this point. I mean, maybe you could do something if they actually send a sack, but they're obviously not going to. It's going to be, they're playing off bot mode, so they're
Maybe
not
you just
sending
try
a
to
sack
stab
probably.
bot mode.
I mean, good luck. They're going to be protecting him on paper, right? They got a whole squad
Yeah.
with them. You got to find someone alone.
You
But
think he's just going to blind decloak? It's a possibility, but bot mode's like 5 HP. Bot mode actually died.
there's the
Jay,
counter snipe. There's the decloak. And immediately the turnaround. They know that that's going to be the opportunity and just immediately find him.
Unfortunate.
So 1 for
As,
1.
Yeah, just a 1-for-1, and I wonder if they're gonna go back up on off classes after that one. Both off classes ended kind of in disaster.
Ooh, Kobe's in fast. 1 rocket onto Howard. It's fine for now. Gonna be the 1 man after the respawners come in, and Jay still
Jay's
sniping.
actually moving up, and Jay getting a little ambitious, getting a little brave, and Jay's like okay. They're finally moving up the meet with Jay as Jay wants to go in the angle. I don't think they have any idea. Okay, they finally spotted him. They're gonna back up. Soapy's actually doing a big high bomb, but not gonna land on too much. Gonna, just clear out the flank, and they're gonna back up, and no off classes for G6. They've had enough with tomfoolery. 20cc still have Jay on sniper, which is, I think, a very wise decision. As Jay is actually...
Soldier this time, too.
Yeah, Ash on soldier. So no sniper or no spy to go meme around, as Jay's peeking, and he sees a lot of players, and he's gonna have to back up. They're trying to sack onto Jay. Bomb mode actually might get him. They actually do get him.
They replaced the gun. It's in its build phase. That allows 2 players to get in. Howard is in spawn, so Soapy will not be so lucky at finding anyone. They're able to find Jay, which is something. But the gun is up now, level 3, on top of the point, locking things down and actually shoot through the window if anyone tries to peek through that, and getting moved once again. So G6, that was really good timing. I don't know if they did that off of hearing the engineer voice line or if it was just really good luck, but either way, that was more than you would initially expect for a 2-man to really go. I think a lot of the times you see the gun just rip people up, so that was some good timing, but it was just a J frag, and he's already respawned on sniper to try to take more shots. He's really deep and lower.
He is really deep and lower, and I'm curious how G6 is going to approach this. There are no off classes again, so I feel like at some point these sacks are going to work, even despite the sentry and even all that. And Sophie's in very deep. And actually, they're trying to sack onto Habib, and there's 3-manning.
They got so much. Howard really weak as well.
Wait, it's literally just Ash and... Oh!
They've just, oh my god, Artist in the skybox. Uber comes out trying to block the point as Logan walked over to it. They sacked 4 and got 4, and they haven't used, but the respawners are in red team's favor. G6 can't really fight this long term, and Artist going for the frag is able to get the force. 5 HP is enough, giving up his life, but knows they have some people coming in. And they know that G6 is alone. It's a long while before the respawners arrive, and that's a really good job from the side of 20cc, recognizing they have to get this force. They don't have to worry about last. Everyone they know and see is right in front of them, but
here's a dry fight, though. They gotta be careful about the dry fight. The dry fight could be for others. Putis, they are gonna get down. Howard's still alive. There is a Putis on the field. Jay is still alive as well, and they're gonna get Habib. But it's Ash is gonna fall. There's a heavy on the point. This looks pretty unwinnable. Toby's getting levitated, and this is gonna be a round reset.
Artist? Oh, Artist tried to go to 2 really fast because he saw there was some overtime. There was some cap time, but wasn't quite able to get there. So stalemate, resetting the round. Not too surprising, all things considered, realistically.
Yeah, that's a successful round reset, despite a scare there for 20ZC with having a single soldier Uber against an un-Uber demo medic. But heading into new mid, new them. Only down 1 round, so if they get a good mid to last, they can very easily just tie the game back up.
Seeing some spam go out. I want to see if any team changed the pace at which they play, and so far it hasn't really been the case. I think G6 has been slightly more dominant when it comes to positioning, but anything can change over time. As Jay's actually working over towards the enemy team's frog, and they're actually going really deep. Counter initiation from Kobe. So much damage on a Brand Slam, and Ash is pretty much dead as well.
That's a trade, but Caps is dead as well. But Habib and Howard are in the funny corner, and Soapy's doing work, but it's just Habib. Actually, Habib is the miracle maker. So many hurt players for the side of 20cc, but G6 able to come on top. Get the dub.
On the chase.
Yeah, Jay is on the chase.
I'm not able to get too much, but at the end of the day, you're fine with mid. You have 2 locked down. G6 are kind of lingering in case anyone gets too aggressive, but yeah, they're just leaving lobby. They know it's gone in a way. So now 20cc get a turn. Instead of being on their last, they get to break into the enemy team's last, and we'll see how their approach differs. And we can already see bot mode checking for the off classes. Is he going to walk out of spawn on it, or nope, going engineer?
Engineer. I like the bot mode engineer loadout as a brief aside. It's very rustic. That's the word I'd use.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he looks very... I feel like that engineer, he's very satisfied with the buildings he's building, It's a good time. But,
it ain't much, but it's honest work.
Exactly. It encapsulates that vibe perfectly. But 20ZC, they're just wandering around lobby, figuring out how they want to sack, maybe discussing it. Beeb has a nice carpet on the floor, trying to figure out what they want to do. As yeah, they're not really doing a lot of much right now. They're just spamming, getting people buffed. Everyone's very healthy other than Brandslam, so maybe they just want to get Brandslam buffed and then they are ready to go.
They found the gun, that's something. I mean, honestly, that's the first step for cracking into the slash. You have to know what you're up against. And
yeah.
Pop Mode's been known to change his gun locations, but he hasn't actually done that yet. It probably depends on the map, and I don't even know where he would move it that would be much different than this.
Oh, they're trying to spam it. Keyword trying.
Ash gonna give up his life, try to go in, at least buy some extra room. Is gonna be unsuccessful. Sophie actually going in really finds the force. Holy, what a play.
That was a huge play. He ramp slid off of the, I guess the little ramp there and just landed on Howard's face, and Howard had no choice but to use, it was a perfect headshot rocket, and G6 are trying to make their way out of last, and Bomb Mode's still an engineer, so they know that there's a gun on last to deal with, so no funny back-up attempts to be had, although not for lack of trying, as they're going to fight in lobby.
Able to actually not find anything at all. They rotated very quickly from the alley side over into lobby and able to kill those 2 players that were in, and Ash, he's, likely going to crater, so Valiant effort.
Watch out for Kobe, though.
The timing was a bit off. I think they probably thought that the G6 was a bit more committed than they initially were. In bot mode, what do you... Oh, that's really smart. He built a teleporter entrance on 2 to go back to his last to swap off really quickly.
That's some holy technology. Yeah, that's some new technology. But we do have Grand Slam and forwards on Sniper. It's been kind of a problem because it baits the soldiers in very hard. And as you can see, you can bomb the Sniper and forwards, but you can't kill him, and you're going to lose 3 players without even doing anything. That Sniper and forwards is a problem.
They zoned him for a minute, but the soldiers were like so...
There's nowhere to go once you land there.
Yeah, they were so hard stuck on like staring at the door to make sure that he couldn't open it to peek that they just didn't realize that they were getting counter jumps. So the soldiers both get cleaned up, and then finally once they're cleaned up, the Sniper peeks, gets a frag, and Ash bombing in a bit early because I guess you have the team peeking with you, but the cap hasn't even gone through yet, so there's no incentive for these players on the side of the blue team to play pretty passive. But
that's a pretty big good pick. And Jay's gonna run into Logan. Logan was hurt. Can Jay get Logan? Oh, Logan's so hurt.
Now or never. Gun still. Oh, there's the 4th. Artist goes in. Bot mode not on engineer quick enough, and we're able to get something out of it. At least they got Jay, they got Artist, but had to expend their Ubers. 20ZC in a pretty good spot. We've seen plenty of last pushes. They don't always lead to successes, and that's definitely a statement for this map in particular. But at least the opportunity presenting itself is something to be said on its own. So they're definitely going to be happy to have this rather than any other scenario, and we'll see just how well they are able to execute whatever door they decide to go through. And looking like lower is still to play for all these teams, and they're going now.
And they're going now. Habib actually getting a decent bomb in. They don't land on the sentry, gonna get it, but they're actually getting a little bit of... They don't have any point time yet. But the Pyro comes out, the resubs come out. Nobody has died yet, but they gotta be careful. There's a Pyro. Artist is gonna fall. Ash is looking pretty hurt, not really in the fight. Jay's gonna fall. Habib's gonna fall. Grand Slam and Howard do have the resubs to get it, but these last pushes have not been going too well.
Yeah, I mean, they get the gun. They have like a small amount of positioning, but just aren't able to collect the frag.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, 2 left alive for 20ZC. They're hightailing out of there. And G6, they lost Logan, but that's about it. Low guy still alive, still has his Uber. They get 2 for free. This ad is probably going to... It's not going to even out right now, obviously. It's 40 ad, but because they have to wait for Logan, 20ZC aren't going to be too afraid about playing close because they know there's no demo bomb that could ever exist in this Uber. So if they do actually enter mid, 20ZC are going to be there willing to hold it. They're at 90%. It's been too long.
Yeah, look at the Habib pipes. See, they have to force through just because of spam.
Oh, he juggled them with the pipes as well, but are they going to be able to get any frags? No, the Uber comes out.
Oh, this might be a disaster.
And Logai barely is able to escape. They're
going to get so many kills.
They lost their soldiers. They lost bot mode. Jay is able to clean up, getting a 3K in this fight.
That's a full wipe.
Single player, and the fact they had to wait
spawn
all
camp,
that
spawn
time
camp.
for
Habib's
Logan.
going to spawn camp.
Oh no, this could be disastrous for G6 fans. They're so aggressive. He's in an angle where you might not be able to look through the glass. You could just be watching death incarnate right now. Logan,
pick the right door at least to go through, but it doesn't even matter. That was the most disastrous mid fight I've seen in a long time. That was a full wipe straight to last, and it's 1-1 tie. And we're 40 seconds left. Next mid win might be the last one in the series if G6 win it, because we're on going to be a match point in 35 seconds.
Oh, I might get my Pred right. Well, maybe not. Depends on which team wins. But we're going to see another mid here between both these teams rolling out. This is also, I guess it's not that long of a rollout. It's like kind of long, not crazy long.
It's not Metalworks tier, but it's or Granary tier, but it's
in the upper half of time spent.
What's the shortest rollout?
Probably Gully.
Yeah, Gully short. But settling into this
out.
mid. Jay's actually going to get very aggressive, and we're going to see bombs in, trying to just buy some space. Howard going to surf out, but he does have bomb mode in his face. Bomb mode gets 2, he gets Jay. Can he get Howard, though? Howard might be dead. This might be a wipe. They're not even going to get Wall Guy, and this is a not spelling. It's not very good if you're 20ZC, because this is for all the marbles. They lose this round, they are out. That is it, and they lose.
Yeah, there was some focus firing issues from the side of 20ZC, but G6 are going to be happy for that. Able to take mid, take 2, and like we said, not always a successful last push for these teams that have Uber ad, but you're definitely going to be willing to take the opportunity. And G6 are in the driver's seat in that regard. They got some respawners coming in, so that's going to allow Branson to go ahead and build a gun. It's level 1 now, but it'll, get to level 2. Jay is trying to snipe, and Ash is actually able to find Soapy. What is this?
How did that happen?
I guess... Oh, Jay body shot him, and then the spam goes out.
That's going to delay them, and it beat down a soldier means this Uber, it's a lot more likely for 20ZC now, as they're getting a lot of point time. Oh, they have so much point time. This could be a disaster, but they might not have the kills. They might not have the numbers for it. Look at them. They're all running away. They're all so hurt. Can they get any of these kills in the cleanup? Caps is actually looping back up around the last, but they have spotted it. it's going to be safe, and they're going to have to push out of last here, but the cap time and the Ubers are going to make this very, very stressful for 20ZC.
That's a huge by caps because it makes it much more difficult to actually try into two. Oh, somebody going in huge. Howard in the corner. Doesn't quite hit the mark. Howard able to finally get his Uber and is able to use it. Be mindful of the spam on the stickies. Just wants to use. Beeb bombing in. That is not the bomb you want. That's a bit of a skybox bomb. Probably got hit by some other stickies and doesn't
Dude,
really
a lot of Habib's
find his
bombs have gone that
location.
way today.
A lot of bombs in general, where Demoman just puts stickies on the ground and immediately as soon as they hit the floor, they are shoved to not where you want them to be. Skybox galore, just pencils everywhere.
So Lokai already has Uber. 20CC got to play this carefully. Oh, bot mode's going to fall immediately. That they used, and they might get Habib.
Logan?
That might be it.
Logan, what are you doing? Logan, oh, Logan fucking stuttered. What the hell? Okay, well, they're going to be down too, but they got Habib. That was
Wait,
really
Kobe
awkward,
just got
bad
Kobe.
timing.
Oh no, Kobe. He just got
Logan
nuked.
lagging out,
Logan
he's
might be
gonna
caught out
be
too. Oh no,
disastrous.
this could be a disaster.
That could have been a completely
Artist is
different
gonna bomb
fight.
too, and Caps is hurt.
Oh my god, that was the worst lag out I have ever seen this season. Bot mode gets one on his way out, but that could have been the game for G6 if he was able to bomb in and help fight with his team there. It wasn't even a crash.
Did he start out of his jump?
He stood still for a solid 7+ seconds while his team was fighting. He didn't lag out of the server, but he eventually did die on his way out as his team has already lost by the time he was able to move again.
And this, look at the momentum here. 20CC just streaming forward. They have ×2 on the point, and they're just trying to get into last before they can get the Zoomer. Might be a little risky, but they can see they might be able to get Kobe. Kobe's an early pick, and they're still in. Low guy's gonna get this Uber, but they have the space. They're down one projectile spam class to deal with this, and they might be able to get this gun. Look at this bomb.
So much space. Kobe's dead. Finding Sophie into the shutter.
Sophie died in the shutter.
Dies, gets pistol down. The Uber comes out. Their hand is forced. They've lost two already. Able to find Ash, but the red team backing up, trying to find the positioning. Arch needs an arrow. Isn't able to initiate. There's a heavy on the field.
Logan's
they have to shoot
so
through so much health. But Logan's weak as well. They're trying to find the way to get over to the point, but this is taking
Scouts
too
are
long.
too hurt for this.
20DC it's taking way too
Bob
long.
mode.
Howard's weak. Will get the
Bob
is
got
he
the head.
living? He got melee killed. Kobe is on the chase, but everyone's already out. 20ZC, they didn't win the fight, but they're able to take what they have and run. And Soapy, he's trying to spam them before bombing in, but they're unable to make the chase. Able to take two, but not securing the frag to lend to anything other than a stalemate. Actually, no, they blocked the forwards. I don't know if they realized that with only 3 people at mid, they could poke around at the choke, but
Branslam's on sniper.
I think it was close enough where they thought that they got the forwards in time. But yeah, Brand Slam is on Sniper and Bot Mode is on Spy. These are classes committing out of their shutters, so one play from either team. And it immediately finds success.
That was basically from forwards. I think Caps was just peeking up, and that's going to be it for that. Down one, and Bot Mode's on Spy.
Mode, he's going in. He's declo. Sniper or medic? Sniper.
And honestly, I don't blame him there. That's not bad. And actually going to get Ash off of trap, but Bot Mode might get a kill here. We'll see. Oh, he
gets the revolver kill on Artist.
Here, they actually Uber exchanged during all of that. Both teams Ubered. Soapy is behind. Bot Mode is also still behind on Spy. I think he ran out of cloak, so they know he's there, but there's too many players coming in. Habib might be caught out. He's on the lower. He's going to jump out. Soapy is there, though. Actually, Jay's going to get Soapy. What is happening? Bot Mode's still on Spy.
20ZC, they're having some scuffed fights, but they are making it scrappy and kind of working in their favor to a degree. They still have to be mindful of the Spy. Bot Mode is still a threat to them, and they know he exists. He's on a 2K right now. One from the backstab, one from the...
He's going in. He's going in.
Is this the
oh my
timing?
god,
Howard
they turn around.
Turns around. He got him! Revolver kill. He gets the frag and is now working on Jay, who was able to get the Foster Bastion kill, but it is not enough. They're going to lose Habib in the corner. They've given up a couple. Kobe is going to fall, but
Logan's going to die too. He gets double headshot rocket. They have to back up the last. They might get second off this. Yeah, they're trying to stack ×5 on it. So at least they're going to get the point. They're going to get forwards for Habib. That's maybe the best they can do in the situation. And they also have numbers. They can pressure these doors. Look at the door pressure. They are holding so close.
Yeah, the heal advantage is enough. It's warranted for them to poke around despite losing their second point, but you know they're still trying to make use of the advantages they have. But 20ZC have to be careful now. There's so many players that are only arrived just now for their team, and they don't have the extra support. So much cap time from the side of G6. Ash initiating and trying to go into bot mode.
Oh, he gets
so
bot mode. That's a good pick.
But ultimately going to be a trade. So much weak players from the side of the red team, and Howard is going to fall. Soapy going huge, getting Howard, then Artist to be falling, and they're just falling like dominoes. Brandsam, the final death, only giving up bot mode as G6 is successful with that Uber, retaking mid and blocking on enough forwards that 2 is going to be free as well. They're going to have ad for last.
Yeah, this could be it for 20ZC. They gotta play perfectly from here on out to avoid this. Ash leaving forwards. He's gonna just at least be able to spot that they are coming in second. But Soapy's going pretty fast. He's got to be a little careful there with his life. But 40% Uber ad for the side of G6, and 20ZC back up against the wall again. They had such a good opportunity, but just could not get it together.
If G6 win this Uber ad push, they are your champions.
Yeah, it all comes down to, can they finally break Sultry Last? We've seen a lot of Sultry Last holds. It looks pretty easy to hold, and let's see if they can do it. 65%, can they get it? Logan's gonna knock back. They do get the gun. That's a pretty good opening, and there's a lot of players in spawn. They get Aris. That's also a great opening. But there's so many deaths. Jay, Bomblet's hurt. Can they get the kills? There's so many hurt players with 20 ZC.
Gets killed by Caps. They're falling. They're stacking the point.
That's
and
it.
G6 take the map. They take the series. They are your Season 10 Invite Grand Champions. The birth of a legacy was here today.
Yeah, G6. Yep, they've done. I thought for sure the 20 ZC Habib J combination, that I thought it was going to be powerful to go to map 5, but G6 managed to just overcome it on Sultry. 20 ZC have played so many maps on Sultry and just unable to get it in the end. That upper bracket match that really does play an important part.
Yeah, all these maps are so close for the most part. Spare a couple. I mean, the Sunshine was the most recent example, but even then, when you see a scoreline that's pretty dominant, there's a lot of back and forth, and it definitely shows that both these teams deserve to be here, but G6, we were saying, the top dog will take it all. Didn't know which team that was going to be, and now we know G6 are your champions. Only a couple of correct scores as guesses. I should have put myself in the chat. I said 2-1.
I said 2-1, but the other way.
At this point, Sultry is definitely proven to be, at least for now, one of those maps that it takes a bit to, find your way.
Indeed, and I don't know, maybe they'll be streaming into interviews, but G6 having a great performance here out on Sultry. It was a nail biter, but in the end, they were just able to overcome enough. 20 CC, they had the opportunities to get the dub, get the victory, but again, unable to do it. I feel like they created a lot of wonderful things out of chaos, but in the end, it might have been a little too chaotic, and they, just one bad team fight spelled really disaster for them at the end.
It's the little things at the end of the day. And I'm kind of curious what the logs are going to look like. When you see these stalemated games that are back and forth, it makes you kind of think, are you going to see anyone that actually seriously pops off, or are we going to see a bunch of people, like half the team in the under 200 DPM club? And you see a couple, actually way more than a couple, almost half. Actually more than half, really. Or is it exactly half?
Kobe,
no, it's
actually.
exactly half, yeah.
Kobe's the only soldier in Soldier to get above 200. Ash and Artist having kind of sad set lines. Soapy having a little bit better DPM-wise, but still kind of sad. But Kobe, the one doing almost as much damage as Logan. And actually, Jay's the one who top damages on his team as Scout.
Kobe went huge this series, so it makes sense to see him being pretty proficient in the damage department. And everyone's kind of putting in work. You see the soldiers, they don't have the craziest stats. The scouts are able to have decent KDs, but I think the biggest thing is it's the small things that matter. The little things add up over time, and it's the team play, the going behind plays, the singular picks that are really impactful, and that's going to be what crowns you as a champion. Is speaking of champions, we have some here in Mumble. Got to get them unmuted as the Mumble automatically deafens on your entry, but it is interview time. Congratulations on your victory, guys. Has it sunk in yet?
We won.
Oh my god.
Shut up, dude. Alright.
What's the immediate feelings? Relief, triumph? Describe it.
Not
The
surprised.
culmination of like a year's worth of work has just paid off. It's insane, man.
It's all worth it at the end of the day.
Listen, I've known Caps
Shit
for
is
like
worth it.
I've known Caps for like 10 years, and if you were to tell me like 10 years ago when we were like 13 and 14 years old, like playing pugs together and like playing b-ball together, that we would win invite, I wouldn't believe you. That's so insane. I'm just so happy.
Storybook.
Okay.
I'm just so happy.
Aww.
Like
Cap.
a 12-year-old here.
Baby.
Dude, I'm not surprised at all. I feel no emotion. I expected
it's
this
easy
dub.
for you?
It was never in question.
Was there any point where your confidence kind of skyrocketed, where you thought that no matter what was happening, that was like, oh, we got this in the bag, this is ours now? Was that
Yeah,
late the final moments, or
Yes,
was it earlier?
when they fucking
Whenever they
fed
went
on
around,
mid.
I was like, that's fine. We're still winning this. I don't care about anything. It's fine.
Logan, did you feel scared at all when you were lagging out for like that 7-second period when your team was
Dude.
pushing and near the end there?
No.
I saw that.
Fill him
Yeah,
in.
man. I've been lagging all season. I used to get packet loss, so it was like actually unplayable for like more than half the season, and then for some reason now I don't get packet loss anymore, but I just freeze randomly. And but just had to play through it.
That might have
At
been the
least
worst
it was-
timing for a freeze I've ever seen. That
Yeah.
was particularly bad.
Hey, but
Oh,
at
yeah,
least you take
someone
the dub
goes,
at the end of the
Logan
day.
just froze. Yeah, like that's cool. Also, someone fixed Sultry. I have 30 FPS on that map. What's going on there? No. I didn't like that one.
Someone spell that? Like, I don't know, like, what was that? Like, what was that? Like,
Yeah,
what
I
was
don't
that?
like that.
So you
Okay,
guys
what is that?
played. You guys played a lot against this team and a lot in general against a lot of the other playoff teams throughout the entirety of the bracket. Do you think there was any shift at any point for any of the opponents you saw, or I guess obviously you guys in particular, where you kind of had to make some adjustments once you kind of see how everyone was bringing everything to the table? I mean, it was a new 20cc roster. Surely you don't know everything you're up against. You have to make some sort of adjustment, right? Or was it smooth sailing?
Yeah, smooth sailing. I'm trolling.
I wouldn't say. I think we had to
Even
adjust
bro,
our
you're
game
such a
plan like
hater,
entirely,
It's true they have
man.
different rosters, and even just switching one player, like before they had High Five and now they had Jay. Like those two players alone changed the way they play, so, like a pretty decent amount, and so you have to.
Yeah. The
need
difference.
to, it's fine.
The difference between Kyle and Jay is like almost immeasurable. I feel like it's
It's
a
all a matter of
dramatic
just
shift.
expecting what they're gonna do, and being able to come up with a plan for it. That's all it is.
I don't necessarily think it's in the sense that like Jay is better than Kyle. I think it's more so that Jay just plays different than Kyle.
Yeah.
Because Jay will like play sniper and off class, and he's like an X Factor player. While I think Kyle is like he's very solid, and that like I don't want to say like he doesn't like go for any like he's a very safe player and he's a very reliable player as like a combo scout, which is good.
You
But,
guys like to
it is
snowball.
what it
Would
is.
you say that at that point that a lot of Jay's off classing is, kind of annoying because it slows down the game, which is something you're not really trying to go for? Or did you find a way to, thrive in the moments where you're okay with it being slow?
Whenever someone off classes, I don't like to think of it in any particular player. I treat it the same way, no matter who it is. If you're playing around it differently, I don't know. I feel like you're already making a mistake. So that's the way I think about it. Even if it's Jay and he's like good at sniper or whatever, I would treat it the same way if I were any other player on sniper. But yeah, I think we played against it well.
How'd you guys feel about the maps when you guys, you guys lost your map pick immediately and then got their map pick back? How'd you feel about that going in maybe after the first map?
It's kind of a G6
We should have won
standard.
medal.
We're kind of
Yeah,
used to
it
getting
is a
reverse swept on
G6
fucking metal.
We threw all
You
metal.
know,
We threw,
fucking
we threw.
happened, bro.
Dude, we just I don't know what it is with us in this map, but bad things happen usually. Like
We threw all metal. We
Nah,
threw.
they adjusted it. They played well, and we
Yeah.
we let it go. We could have won, but it is what
Yeah.
it is, you know. You can't
should have won.
you can't lose like that and then go to the next map and be like, damn, we fucking choked it. You just have to go and be like, yeah, we were
Yeah.
winning. We could still win,
Yeah.
you know.
Don't get
And-
in your head. Just play your game and just win.
And that's another good thing about winning upper brackets. We had that comfort of having the map advantage too. So even that one map loss wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's always a nice boon. For your map pool, you had a whole month to pick whatever maps you wanted for your scrims to refine whatever you thought you needed extra work. So now that everything's said and done and you have no more pick bans for the season, when it came down to playing the first matches, were you guys confident in your pool overall, or were there some maps that you were like kind of iffy on, not sure what to first ban or what to leave in,
Yeah.
or was it kind of easy at that point?
Every team has maps that they prefer and maps that they dislike, and we're no different. All the maps that we thought we sucked ass at, we worked on them, we talked about them, we scrimmed them, and we literally actually pretty decent on them. Like Sultry was one that I think we scrimmed these guys and we got like 5-0'd viciously like early on in the season.
Yes,
And,
dude.
and we just scrimmed it, talked about it, and did whatever, and we beat them on it twice. So between yesterday and today, so that's just I think we're good at making progress. I guess I don't know.
Proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
Did
Do
you
you
guys
think-
expect?
oh,
Oh,
go
sorry, you go. No, you go.
Okay. Do you think the land style playoffs changes the difficulty of matches since none of the teams get to really hyper focus on a map? You just kind of like, all right, you're playing this, no scrims, go for it, see what happens. Compared to
Yeah.
like
The
just
first
going
day,
into-
I
love
was
it.
losing it, man. I can't play that long anymore. I just can't. I simply can't.
Yesterday?
Yes, I can't play for that long anymore.
No, Philly Land, I'm telling you, we started playing. Philly Land's on RGL, obviously, but like, still, we played at 10 a.m. or we started playing 10:30 or 11, and we
until
stopped past
midnight.
midnight, dude. We stopped past midnight.
Yeah, one
Like,
of the
that was
one of the
unreal.
It was gross. It
one
was
of the
fucking gross.
RGB lands started at like 10 or 11 as well, and ended at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, good thing I didn't go to that. I would have been dying on the floor.
I don't
That's
know.
good preparation.
I love this like style. It feels I like the preparing for a tournament like this versus just preparing for one match. Because
Dude,
it feels like you have to be more complete as a team. Like you can't just like cram focus on like the 2 maps that you think are going to be really strong that you need to be able to win.
yeah, dude, it also gets it out of the way, which is nice, because like notoriously, like every season that wasn't like this LAN playoff style, so like like about I guess the last time that happened was like around a year ago this time. It lasts forever. It just doesn't end. Like
It
just
does.
people just delay it for like as long as possible because it's around like Christmas time. People have finals and stuff, so it's good to like just get it out of the way on a weekend. So it works best, honestly. Also, I think it you know it's just good. I think it's good for like a spectator like point of view. I think it brings a lot of like hype to the games. Like I literally saw like a lot. I think I was watching like some of the streams over the weekend and the matches I wasn't playing in. Like it was like constant 1,000 viewers, which was like awesome. It's good.
I think we had
It's
like
good for the
a
game.
1.5k peak or something.
Yeah,
Really?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Froyo games are getting a lot of views just because
Do it for the
many
fans.
XD. Yeah.
Speaking of
Yep,
Froyo,
okay.
how did you guys feel going to? Did you guys expect to play against 20cc in finals, or did you expect to be against
Hell
Danny
yeah.
in finals?
Yeah, I didn't think Froyo was gonna beat 20Z.
Yeah, straight up, just from scrim results and just, I mean, just looking at the rosters,
Damn.
the way that we compared, or that we compared to Froyo and 20ZZ and all that, it's kind of expected that we probably end up playing these guys in the grand finals. But yeah, no disrespect.
No, we would roll them in
I
grands.
think before they had a Beeb, it was like close, but like a little Froyo favored, maybe. It was very close, and with the Beeb, I think 20ZC was like definitely the favorite.
Habib is power.
So would you make the statement at that point, from your perspective, your guys, that there were no upsets and every team got pretty much what you expected in terms of their placement?
Yeah, that's fair, I think.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
I
I
didn't
think
expect the lower bracket finals to be that close.
I think all the games
gonna
were
lie.
I agree,
probably
I agree with
closer
that.
than we were expecting, to be honest. So
Wait, the Froyo 20ZC game was close?
yeah, it was
3-2
extremely
Yeah, it was
close.
both maps.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we're sleep.
Shut up, man.
Jay was on like an 8K on
Wow.
Sniper, and they couldn't have.
Dude, I didn't know.
Yeah,
man.
that
I
was
straight up-
that
was
Snake
passed
Water
out.
last push was unbelievable that they didn't
No,
win
I'll be
that.
brutally honest. I think from watching that game, I think 20ZC was actually just like losing more than Froyo was winning.
Froyo will do that.
I don't think it was necessarily like
Crew has that
for
play
its playing
style.
well. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. But yeah,
All right.
Good.
You played a lot of TF2 this weekend. Gotta name one player who carried the torch for your team, was the MVP, who was going through it and bringing your team victories and rounds and wins when other people couldn't. Who is that player? Who do you got?
Ball guy,
Lol guy.
no question.
Log I played it very, very good.
Yeah, I
Everyone
agree.
played good. Everyone played good, but Log I played great.
My MVP is Bob Mode.
Aw.
Bro dropped a 0 death.
Bro did drop a 0 deaths.
That's true.
Yeah, we didn't even notice. We're like, wait, little guy never died.
Yeah,
It'd be like that. Playing against my old teammates.
that's actually
Yeah.
why. That's actually why Loga's the goat, because he's like
It's
the
so
op.
funny.
Yeah,
We're playing against
the-
Carters or like Ash, and Log I would go, no, he doesn't do that.
We had
Like,
like,
we're
we
speculating
had
against
0
like, their
deaths on
behavior.
on
they're
Sultry
like,
until like
dude,
20 minutes in.
They're like, is Carter
Yeah.
gonna spy check? I'm like, he has no idea how to do that, man.
Speaking of spy checking, how do you guys feel about the off-classing? There was a lot more off-classing, I feel like, in playoffs than in regular season. A lot of from both matches, both teams, just a
I
lot of
don't know,
spy and
man.
sniper.
I
It's
just
how-
saw
that's how you win.
I
how
just
it
saw
is.
Howard die to spy like 7 times, and I don't know. You just gotta keep
it was
up.
working, so you keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Bombard, were you flipping a coin that one side was you spawn on scout and the other side would you spawn on an off class? Because I felt like you off classed the most out of anyone in this entire playoff bracket.
No, I just off class when I thought it was good. With spy, it was just like weird off timings for the most part.
Oh, it worked out.
I mean, I always like spy's always entertaining because it's either great or terrible.
That's true.
Yeah,
I said in one of the casts that no matter what, a spy is going to be clip worthy
Yeah,
whether or not he gets the stab.
the spy life is always funny.
All I know is that Soapy is banned from the Beggar's Bazooka.
Listen,
Right.
man.
He's like,
Listen.
I sacked, I did 0 damage.
Dude, okay. with the positions they were playing in, like, granted,
You're like, just let me
I
try
should
one
have-
more time.
granted-
Sophie was
granted-
like,
time.
they're playing on
Granted-
the low ground. Let me sack
listen.
7
But
more
wait,
times.
but wait. Let me finish, man. Let me finish. They were playing super far back, so I knew that if I did like if I did the like the beggar sack, I'd be able to get in like pretty deep, and all I would have to do realistically is hit one rocket, but it's like hard to hit rockets with beggars because it goes everywhere. Yeah, I actually don't like sinking with the beggars. I think it's bad.
I actually like the Mantred sacks through those. I saw one or two of those.
Yeah,
Those
the
were good.
Mantreds. I think Mantreds are like one of the more like underused items in the game.
I
It gets
saw,
a se-
I
That's
saw
all
artists try to equip
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
I like that. I think the Mantreds are broken.
I think they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, Mantreds are good. I just I honestly just stopped using them just because like Howard and Jay and Branslam were just like super far back, so it's kind of just like there's no point in real sacking because I'm trying to die, right? And just walk in, get a kill, and then like keep spiraling off that. It's not really worth sacking when they're super far back.
Maybe it'll be the next Market Gardener where it's there, it's been there for years, but it only takes a certain moment and utilization for it to come to light. So,
There's a lot of items like that in the game, a lot of classes.
there
and
is,
some
there
Direct
is.
extras.
hit.
Yeah.
true.
Direct hit is good.
It just takes the right person. Where's
Yeah.
Waldo when you need him?
Somebody gets side
yeah,
equipment
where
full
is
time.
Waldo when you need him?
Where's Sai? Sai's done some terrifying things with that weapon.
True. There's some clips out there
Those
floating
facts.
around. Playoff clips too, I think, when it
Yeah.
matters the most. But
Dude, that one Kyle got owned by Sai, the director of Metalworks. I remember that.
oh yeah, that one. That one was in like a clip reel at one point. For
Cal just caught a
AFK.
stray, man.
It happens sometimes. Any other thoughts or questions from you, Space?
No, I'm good. My head is very into mush after watching all this TF2.
That's fair.
That sounds rough, dude. Like literally like
Sometimes when you watch caps.
12 hours of cap
That's
casting.
fucked.
We got
How long
through
was
We're
it?
fine.
Oh, Yesterday was
Or
worse.
5, right?
Yesterday was
Oh my
14 hours.
goodness.
Jesus,
Yeah,
that
it
was more than I
long.
thought. Oh, 7 hours each. Okay, that's
Oh,
not
okay,
bad.
okay. That's not
Okay, yeah. Well, that's still long, but
Yeah.
All right, time to enter the shout out phase. So anyone who's sleepy can go ahead and go to bed. I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 Euros that stayed up for this, and maybe you're still here now. So time to wrap things up. Start with the shout outs. Top down, starting with bot mode.
Charm Cork, our sponsor, and I guess Skis.
Yeah, I
And
agree with those
Guy.
two shoutouts.
Caps.
I agree with those two shoutouts.
Oh.
She'll be happy we won. Shout out to everyone in chat that's actually saying nice things. Usually, I'm not used to that. Usually they're shitting on me over and over again, which is a nice switch up.
It's no longer how
I
his
don't
caps
expect
winning.
me not being invite.
Yeah,
me
it's
will
how is
die.
he
I don't
winning
expect
invite.
that to die, but shout out to everyone in chat's being nice. Fuck everyone that isn't, and then yeah, that's it.
Kobe.
Shout out to Charmquirk and shout out to you guys and production.
Shout out JB Nuts.
Yeah, shout out JB Nuts. Don't ever forget JB Nuts. That's all I got.
Logan. Oh, Logan's
think he
internet's at it
lagged
again.
out.
Yeah, he's out of it.
Oh
Perfect.
my
At least
God.
lagging out. That's
At
perfect.
least the matches are over. All right,
That's
we'll
actually
save.
perfect.
We'll put that one on the back burner. Maybe we'll get that written later. Fall guy.
Shout out my team, man. I'm proud of everyone on our team. Come a long way. I was new in this season, but managed to pull through. Shout out to all my friends, everyone that watches, supporting us. Shout out RGL Production. Yeah, man. Shout out everyone. Shout out my old team too.
Sophie.
Fuck Banny.
I agree with that last part. He was rooting against us, by the way, on Twitter.
yeah.
Everyone, go look at that tweet. Everyone, go like that tweet on
All right,
Twitter.
all right, relax.
He's actively rooting against us in our game. Yeah, hater. You got a hater.
Okay.
All good. All right, you go.
Shout out to shout out to Drifta, Maxi Krung, shout out to my Highlander team, MCM. Trying to think who else. Shout out to shout out to everyone I've ever played on a team with. It's like a lot of like the Ford gaming iterations and whatnot. Shout out to
Backed up
everyone.
for a
Like-
team I was on.
What's up?
You backed up for that Daybreak team I was on like years ago.
Yeah, I remember
Shout
that.
out you, Space Ghost.
Shout out to you, Space Ghost. Yeah,
Thanks.
shout out to. I also want to give like a big shout out to Bot Mode and Skis. Bot Mode because when he joined our team, we were all stupid and we didn't really know how to play the game, and he taught us a lot. And then Skis, when he ranked from us, kind of brought us a long way. The first time we went to LAN with him, he was really good. And yeah, shout out to everyone. Shout out to all my friends, man.
What about you,
That's it.
Space?
Yeah, shout out to everyone in playoffs playing great. Shout out to the viewers, sticking with us, sticking with all the pauses, all the stuff, and just a great playoff series overall. I quite like I'm sure it might not. I don't know how you guys feel about it as players, but as a viewer, I do actually enjoy the infinite overtime. It's quite entertaining. Shout out to
It's good. It's good.
shout out to Skis actually. Yeah, I'll give the Ski shout out. It's been a hot minute since I've given
Another
it out.
ski shout out. All right, well, shout out to all the viewers for watching. Shout out to Logan's Internet. Shout out to Slam House. Shout out to the players for obviously playing, and everyone else on production, Dolphin and Space Ghost, and anyone else in Discord or behind the scenes helping us through the cast with the info and all that. So, but also one final shout out. The merch is available. Talked about it before the games began, but we'll talk about it once more. New merch, seasonal. It is here. It has arrived. Shop.rgl.gg. You can take a peek and see
Look at that
what
handsome man.
you like. The frog is definitely a fan favorite, and it's probably the most popular thing we've seen so far. So if you like it, go ahead and grab it, because like I said, seasonal. It won't be there forever. It'll be a bit, but I want to make sure you grab it while it's fresh in your mind so you do not forget, and it'll be there for just a tad longer. Thank you for watching all the games today. If you want more TF2 action, technically there's the Highlander Grand Finals that is tomorrow, so if you want to go ahead and watch that, that will be available for your viewing pleasure. It'll be Score EA versus Team Fun. But for more Invite 6's action, that is going to be it for this season. You're going to have to wait until the holidays are over in January or February rolls around once again, as we'll begin Season 11, where hopefully we'll see G6 attempt to defend their championship title. And we'll see how other rosters shake out as well. But for tonight, that'll be it for us. Thank you so much for watching with us for 14 hours this weekend, if you were here the whole time. I've been Jarrett, casting with Space Ghost with Dolphin on production. Thank you, good night. We'll see you next time next year.
See you next year.
Peace.